Hello, I'm Dan McDowell, longtime professional broadcaster. Why subscribe to our Patreon podcast? Well, perhaps you support our struggle to get out from under the oppressive thumb of the man. Or, objectively, if you sign up at patreon.com/thedumbzone, you'll get the 2 episodes per week that are available on all podcast platforms, like this one, plus an additional 2 episodes each week that are exclusive to Patreon. So subscribing on Patreon gets you 4 episodes per week. Oh my, what a bargain. Now, on to today's program.
The Dumb Zone. Arresting me for what? I'm not allowed to stand up for myself? I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
Alright, 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 alright. Alright, 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 alright. I never listen. I'm gonna listen. I wanna listen to the Dumb Zone.
Hey guys, happy July 3rd, July 4th Eve, Independence Day Eve. We are broadcasting today high atop my garage, live to tape, and I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jay Kemp.
I'm Blake Jones.
God, I hate that we've normalized that.
Not me.
We let him get away with one.
All right, we'll trade that for I'll fly to California.
No, no, sir.
There.
No, sir.
All right, he's begun negotiation.
I know.
He's obviously asking for too much,
Yeah.
but we could think of something.
You know
I
what?
know, man.
No, I'd say this is a non-starter.
There was these huge 2 huge rocks out in my yard that my wife was lamenting. We have to move them because there's a hornet's nest under it, and there could be it's real wet. So she's like, I think there's a sprinkler leak, and I should have done that. I'm just thinking of it now. I got to go try to move those rocks.
You're trying to hurt
and
yourself.
just rip my back.
You're trying to
be
do
like, I gotta.
Yeah.
Like when Blake Bortles wanted to get a
fifth car for 40 hours.
Yeah.
Or
No, Minshew.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I confused my spare white guy quarterbacks.
I was looking at the route.
It looks fun, doesn't
No.
it?
We're going to be driving to Oxnard.
You can't look at it.
We're going to go through Amarillo. Is there anything
72-ounce steak.
there? Albuquerque.
Go see the house.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind stopping in there. Well, who knows what I'll think of halfway through the
Something
trip. That looks about
zany.
halfway. Sedona. I like Sedona.
Okay.
And it doesn't look like there's anything else. There's 3 things.
What you'll have your boys in the open road.
But if anybody wants to hit us up and say they'll meet us on the way somehow.
Like Forrest Gump.
Guys, they're like, yeah, I'm like, do we go through El Paso? Someone emailed me from El Paso, said they'd
There are a
meet
couple
us.
different routes you could take.
I know, but you have to be on the quickest route.
Yes.
We're not like veering off to go see you
I don't think we will be going through El Paso.
in Carlsbad.
You never been to Carlsbad's great.
Well, we're not going that way.
Got the caverns.
Roswell. We're not going to Roswell. Although that'd be a good way.
It's Roswell.
Roswell.
And it's also pretty interesting to see.
We're not going to the Gila National Forest. If you were thinking maybe we'd meet you there.
I wonder if they say Gila or Gila. Because it's a Gila monster, right? I think that's how you say it. But
Oh,
I've
really?
never heard it referenced in terms of the park. Big Gila monster guy.
You?
Yeah. You know me for 2 seconds.
I've never heard that before. Anyway, we have a 690 sit-in today, guys. We're up high up atop my garage, and if we are, that usually means we have a sit-in.
Yeah.
We don't often just come here for shits and gigs anymore, like we used to. And that sit-in is Paul Fenn is his name.
Got a sounder and everything.
How is not Paul Skeens?
Unfortunately, no.
Blake. I think Blake put Paul Fenn on our fantasy team instead of Paul Skeens. We're paying for it.
Bad move.
So, Paul Fenn, you know Jake from way back?
Yes, we went to high school together and played football together.
God,
played football.
he remembers old Jake.
Same graduating class.
That's right.
You knew when he was a badass.
That's right.
Would do anything, and now he's like, I don't know if that's safe, guys.
He was a wild boy, yeah.
Yeah, like, do you think the Jake you knew would be like, yeah, let's start up that microwave, man. Let's throw some shit in there.
Dan really wants to microwave a CD, and I'm telling him that will start a fire.
I've got
especially whenever he
mixed
tried.
results in the missives,
Really?
the emails, whatever I get. Yeah.
Go hit it up.
Well, no, I got to get the one that we're going to destroy. I know it'll hurt the microwave, but will it cause a fire?
I can tell you what you can
there's
do.
only one way to know.
Yeah, truly. You can put the 5th season of Frasier in there because it's like 5 discs, and somebody gave it to me.
Oh, wow. Yesterday you were against that, and now we're going to do it.
Well, if we need fire.
Yeah. Also, Danny Binion is here. He'll get the golf applause.
How's it going?
You were invited by Paul
I know them both. Graduating class, 2003.
for your 3rd trip here to the Den, I believe.
I think the last time was the Super Bowl, guys.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Good times.
Yeah. Who was in the Super Bowl? Who won it?
I just remember it was the Kansas City Chiefs because I just remember the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, this magic moment where I hugged it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll lay up on the top of the couch, and then if you stop petting him, he'll just stop bothering you, I think. I hope. And later... Oh, he's eating your ear now. So later in the program, Lawrence Rosales is coming by, our good friend. Comedian Lawrence Rosales, because Blake thought we haven't been funny enough lately. So
These two guys are both naturally funny. I would give you that.
Okay.
Vinny's probably the funniest person I know. Now, be funny.
Yeah, I will second that.
Debatable.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, so do you guys open your gifts the morning of or the night before July 4th? We actually got some gifts. So somebody mailed some stuff.
Please be a Constitution. Please be a Constitution.
What?
So this is one thing that we've been talking about lately, and Jake can
False
open
to me, I
that.
suppose.
And then the other thing, you can see one of them.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. It's a shower phone holder with the tagline, your shower just got a lot more fun.
Hell yeah. I would love to be able to watch
Now, all
YouTube
we need
in the phone or in
is
the shower.
the Supreme Court to overturn this Greg Abbott age verification rule, and now you are cooking with fish grease right here.
Yeah.
That's right.
My question is just, can you use the phone while it's in here? Like, it's one thing to say, like, oh, you can put it in here and you could play music or something or change, but I guess it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense if you couldn't, actually manipulate.
But writing
the
notes,
screen.
that's what we're talking
you're
about.
Wanting, yeah.
Yeah. Or at least the voice to text thing. I use that all the time.
Boy, I don't. I never have.
I do that. That's how I text and drive.
Well, you also did it in the studio yesterday, and I thought you've never looked older.
Yeah.
You're like, hold
Doing
the
a
phone.
voice to text is bad.
I will be home.
Right.
Period.
I'll tell you this. Here's what you need to know. The only person I know who does it a lot is my mom.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll try to do it in private then.
And it always messes up. Sometimes to an embarrassing degree. Yeah, this thing looks like it's solid.
And then I got a huge box delivered here yesterday. A FedEx box
Enemy.
was sitting outside in the driveway and brought it in. And when I opened it, hey, Benny, you want to go grab one of those and bring it over to Blake so he can see? And the other one is behind you, Jake. So this box was full of 4 of these blankets.
Oh, wow.
And it says, to the Dumb Zone, I crocheted some blankets for your families.
Wow.
I hope you all enjoy them. Thanks for all you do. From Dummy Nikki.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, this is
I think this is the Nikki, right?
So, ladies,
this is Carter.
in
This is
today's...
Okay, I'll take a double.
You guys can probably just pick whichever color you like. But, yes, so ladies in today's day and age, like,
How sweet.
are still crocheting.
Yes, I had a girlfriend once who did this, and it was amazing to watch. It looked like you ever see those like National Geographic or something where they show like a silkworm, and you're like, how are they doing that? Like if you time lapse someone crocheting, it doesn't make any sense. It looks so hard. I also think this had a little bit of a renaissance during the pandy.
It did.
Interesting. Yeah, my grandma used to
Yeah, mine too.
make tons of stuff. My aunt, she would make a huge blanket for you. But these look,
Yeah, well, ask
Real
your
soft.
grandmother to transfer something to the cloud.
she can't do anything.
That bitch couldn't.
No, she can't do a damn thing.
This is top quality handmade goods we're talking about here.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I feel like I'm ready for the Oregon Trail.
My girlfriend got all the things to start crocheting during
Yeah.
the pandemic and still in the corner
That's
over there.
got to be 75%.
That's
people
usually
there.
how it goes.
Yeah.
Gym equipment. Hey, I bought a couple
Yeah.
kettlebells March 2020.
So next
Never touched
pandemic,
Next.
we need to invest early in crochet items.
There's a whole list of things probably. You know, booze companies.
Paul, you can push him off the couch or just push him away
I
from
just
you.
didn't want to be mean to the boy.
Do it.
All
He'll
right.
just lick your arm all day if you
Okay,
don't.
I will.
And the thing is, my wife is an enabler.
Yep.
She doesn't care. Like, she'll sit there for 45 minutes and he'll just be licking her leg over and over. And I'm like, just the noise bothers me. And I'm like, why are you letting him do that?
Yeah.
What? Doesn't bother me. I don't care.
I get accused of that with the cat.
Letting the cat just lick you?
Yeah, or like bite at me, and I'm just like, oh. you
She's like,
little
look, just put your
rascal.
pants on and he won't do it.
Well, thank you, Nikki.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
I love a good blanket. I'll keep that bitch on 70, get cold in my house, and then get a blanket. Rather than going to 74, 75.
Did you see what Encore recommended for daytime or just temperatures in your house? during
Yes,
the
I
summer?
did. It's like when you're not home, put it on 84 or 83, and then when you are home, put it on 78 during the
78,
day.
and then while you sleep, 82.
82. Do they know
Well, I just watched a video this morning indicating you should sleep at 66.
68? It's at least 68.
Yeah,
That's,
okay.
that's
Sleep
what
cold.
science says.
Yeah.
So,
laugh.
unsurprisingly, the people in charge of the grid do not consult the scientists. It's 82?
82.
What is this? Am I a POW in NAM? Why don't you release a bunch of snakes in here at the same time?
I thought this is
Create
America.
the full vibe.
I thought this is Texas.
Yeah.
We're better than everyone.
July 4th, something.
So, yesterday's show has been well received. We've got some positive comments on
Yeah.
the Sode.
Had nothing to do with us, but
No, it was mostly because we had William Pace on.
Yeah.
and Julie.
So
And Mike.
today we're having guys that Jake knew 20 years ago real well. And yesterday we had a guy I did. But I did check the comments on the Patreon. By the way, if you're tuning in today and you're wondering, patreon.com/thedumbzone.
Yeah, if you're wondering why you haven't seen William Pace yet, it's because you're not subscribed.
Yeah.
But one of the comments I saw was responded to by the Dumb Zone account. I'm guessing that's you
Yeah,
or somebody else involved in the video.
it'd just be me.
That indicated YouTube blocked the video at first.
Yeah.
Did you know this?
I do now because I looked for the first time this morning in a long time at Patreon comments and at Reddit.
Oh,
I have
okay.
some shit to say.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Well, it said I don't look at the Patreon comments very often, but I probably should.
I used to. Today's the first time in a couple months.
Because of the vice president clip from the BET Awards.
Yeah.
And then once the trim processing goes, so you had to take that out?
Yeah.
Like the video or the audio too?
Both.
Or else-
YouTube makes it really easy on that front, but basically they're not going to allow you to republish another clip. And so that's BET's property that we were distributing on our own.
But I thought you said the audio stayed up in the video file.
No. Like the audio is there in the Patreon audio.
Okay.
And the video lives on our Patreon.
But on
YouTube, it will not allow that. So luckily they have a trim processing thing, whatever, where I can just take that minute and a half out. But
Okay.
doing that takes a while.
And it'll look choppy then if you're watching.
It'll skip ahead. But
But it's all good on the audio. Like,
Yeah,
if you
yes.
listen to
Just the
podcast.
audio only
Yeah.
version of
Yes.
Yeah.
But the good
Great.
news, but I don't have to re-upload and do all that process again. They just handle it. That takes about an hour.
Okay.
But like I told Jake,
Blake does so much more than we have any idea of. He really does. I know
know.
Lawrence once asked, what does he do?
Well, I think I learned pretty early on that I don't need to tell you guys every single thing I do.
I
learned-
don't.
So
I don't want to know it.
Yes.
I learned that pretty early on as the producer
in
for
your
a Dan
days.
show also.
yeah. So
But you agree, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Just
it's
get it
not
done.
easy whenever
Get your things done, and
your
that's cool.
boss is yelling at you, telling them, tell these guys this, tell these guys this, tell these guys this, and I walk out the door and I'm like, I'm not telling them any of that.
But I mean, Blake knows the goal is just to get it
okay,
done.
we'll break it 28, I promise.
Yeah, good to go.
Like, Blake doesn't often tell us why he couldn't get something done. He usually just gets it done.
Right.
Now, lots of people do. That's a big thing in this world, is telling you why something is not done.
So, other notes on the episode from the Reddit. People really loved the Joe and Troy of porn joke that Blake. That was a home run. That one still hasn't landed.
Thank you.
Wait, who was? Who's the Joe and Troy of porn?
Pornhub.
Oh, just Pornhub.
It's a
Okay.
straightforward presentation. You know what you're going to get every
Yeah.
time you go there. It's clean.
They're strong.
You're like, not like, who's this guy? Which often happens when you're watching Charles Davis or whoever the C team is. I accidentally laughed at the very end of William Pace's Happy Birthday.
And then I muted you.
Yeah, I couldn't handle it. I was away from the mic,
I was giving you this
covering my mouth. And
I muted everybody.
because I wanted that clean for our birthday show.
I know.
Well, if I was muted, how can you hear it?
Because I thought we were all going to be cool, and then I heard you. I'm like, okay, mute everything. we got to have this.
It's at the very end. But, yeah, some people were upset that we were interrupting William Pace. And let me tell you,
He'd still be talking if
we,
we did.
Yeah.
we would still be carrying
I
him
gave you
over
that
to-
scouting report going in.
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And it was pretty apparent early on. And I kept looking at Dan like, which one of us is going to do it?
Yeah.
And I think we both did it a couple times. But
Yeah, I feel comfortable doing that. Look, we're doing a show here, William. Let's get to it.
couple names for the wrap
need
up.
to hear
from
about
Reddit. How
BB
about the
King
weekly
again.
pullout?
Yeah, we talked about that.
The weekly pullout
Yeah.
would be your Saturday wrap-up show,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
weekend review.
There's
Yeah.
Saturday Sum Up, the Dumb Zone Digest, the weekly Dumb Down. These are just ideas.
Yeah, I think we're still working on it.
Yeah.
The weekly. Someone has a good one here. The weekly cream pie. I don't know what that means.
Nice.
Me neither.
Thank you, Danny.
People are questioning my Italian restaurant anthem story. Why would I make that up? Be really
I remember
weird.
you telling that at the time.
I did. I did. Let's see. He also told Julie that he doesn't go to the gym despite multiple gym stories in other episodes. So I'm knocking all this shit out right now. Let's go.
Oh, you're attacking Reddit.
Well, I'm responding
Oh, okay.
because I read it today. For the first time in
You're
a long
really,
time.
and you know what? I caught you on Twitter, like you're in some little battle about how good of a defender Derek Jones Jr. is. Like, what's this responding guy?
The battle is. The guy said, I can't believe you said that. I said it's because it's true.
Okay, well, but why don't you just walk away? You just hit the home run.
Well, the guy listens to our show, so I feel like you owe them that. If I'm gonna have to unblock all these people, I know. Yeah, and you know what else? I don't want to hear it from you.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
why? Why
No,
are you
have lost.
responding?
You have lost.
You made him do this.
You have lost every shred of credibility in.
I had credibility with you?
No.
That sounds great.
No, the social media. Like, do we look at what people say? Do we care what people say? You have lost that.
He knows our subscriber count right now.
He knows everything.
Yeah.
He knows everything. He reads Reddit.
Yeah. I saw your phone earlier. Every Reddit post is gray
Yeah.
on your phone.
So I don't want to
You've
hear
seen
it.
it
If I
all.
respond to one, it wasn't like a "you suck" and I fought the guy. He was responding to my D Magazine article, and I responded. So pipe down over there.
What if Dan had a burner?
And I do not go to the gym very often.
Yeah, I got a burner. More
When you-
Dan.
When you go to the gym now, do you go to 24
Great
hour or
story,
do you go
Dan.
to Grapevine?
24-hour fitness.
Okay.
oh.
I'll do Grapevine
thought
Rec
you were
maybe
Rec.
once every
No, I
week
can't
or so
afford
for
Rec.
for the sauna.
Okay.
Rec,
He doesn't
actually,
live in,
I
he
think
doesn't live in Grapevine.
Oh, okay.
Was it pandemic? Oh, you know what happened? It was the rec will close down for a week or two every year.
Clean.
To get a full cleaning and reorganize some stuff, get some new machines in there. And during that little time, I signed up for a 24-hour fitness, and then I never went back. Plus, the rec, I don't live in Grapevine anymore. If you live in Grapevine, it's like $50 for a year for the family. Something really silly.
It's insane.
And if you don't, it's
expensive.
$500.
But you know what's weird is if you live in South Lake, it's still extremely expensive to go to the South Lake rec. Like
right.
What they call it, the Met or something.
The Mark.
Yeah.
I don't go to that either. 24-hour fitness is like
it's
whatever.
Yeah.
For the family thing, it's like $25 a month, $30 a month maybe.
Well, I'm glad we settled all that.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go delete my responses about basketball. So
I'm just saying you're just interacting a lot, and I like it. I like to see you out there just in the streets.
How am I interacting a lot? It's one.
It is probably just one guy. But you got to get him. You got to. I don't know what you got to do.
Can you believe what Nate Lowe did last night, Dan?
Did you see he got drug tested after the game?
He hit for the cycle? What happened?
He had 2 home runs.
2 2-run home runs. I like this bit of, but now he knows the bit.
Evaldi, 7 strong,
7
1 hit.
Scoreless.
Okay,
Yeah.
How are we doing?
Bad. We're still not very good.
How many games would they have to win in a row to be 500?
6?
I think it's 6.
Oh, that's not. Well, it's not good if you were the World Series champion.
7.
No. But we're getting healthy.
Yeah, that's important. You know Bochy's history.
Yeah.
Even years.
Every other year.
Odd
Every
years.
other year, yeah. He'll win a World Series on you, and then they won't even make the playoffs. So they should have brought back,
Woody.
Chris Woodward.
Yeah, brought back him for this season, and then bring Bochy back.
Do you want to talk about our little scene over here before we get going? When I walked in?
Yeah, we need to. It needs to be addressed.
What do we have going on
Not
over there?
currently.
No.
When I was over there earlier,
Yeah, the bug situation.
you got mad at me.
Oh, you were killing a wasp. It was a mud dauber. I should say it that
Okay,
way.
Listen,
You were killing a friendly animal that does not bother anyone.
we've been down this road before.
It's not an ally.
They will walk around in here, and eventually they'll just die. And because if it's real active, then I'll let it out. I'll open the window, and it'll fly out. But it was just kind of walking around, and I know that look. That means he's walking around looking to die.
Okay, well then why not just take him out of his misery?
And eventually, because I just like let nature take its course there.
Dan was like appalled.
It was a terrifying looking insect.
Again, I will tell you this, and people are going to get mad. I know they typically don't sting, but they have stingers.
Yeah.
So from an evolutionary standpoint, you got to watch out for that.
I don't know, man.
And he flew at me.
Yeah, had a little juice left.
Oh, he didn't. He's not going to sting you.
So I gave him a little kick, got some toilet paper, and flushed him down the toilet.
Yeah, well. Hope he flies up and stings your wiener.
Stings your wiener.
At least it would get bigger.
Oh, hey, all right. I thought Dan was going to cry.
You were very distraught.
I'd suck the venom out for you.
All right.
So you have a little reports today. Is that under
It is sports.
Sports?
It is sports.
Want to call this sports now?
Sure.
From the wonderful world of sports, Radio Sports Scoreboard.
Well, first of all, the Rangers won last night, 7 strong from
Big Nate. Big Nate and Big Nate.
I failed to do what we kind of talked about, is watch Hard Knocks Giants. I'll do that by Monday.
Well,
because I think you'll forget that I said that.
yeah, I mean, by kind of talk about it, you mean I sent both of you guys a text letting you know it was on, and then neither one of you responded.
Oh, I just thought if you tell me something, I'm going to get on it. I'm a doer.
Yeah.
And then I didn't do.
Yeah.
It doesn't do.
I watched it. It's good.
Oh, you watched the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing that I want to play for you, but it is because, I mean, we've seen the on-field stuff a lot, training camp cuts or whatever. But this was actually kind of cool. They're talking about what to do with Saquon.
It's during the season?
Yeah, last season.
The in-season Hard Knocks?
No. This is off-season. So this is from Super Bowl.
Oh, so they changed it this time.
This is from
Okay.
Super Bowl to now.
Oh.
So it starts with them scouting the East-West Shrine game, the Senior Bowl, but the bulk of this is what to do with Saquon, what free agent running backs they have, and how to build around Daniel Jones.
They've never done this before.
No.
It's always been in season.
So it's pretty interesting because, like I said, I've seen the training camp cuts. I get it. This is new, and it is pretty interesting.
Now, you were saying they're being real positive on Daniel Jones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, to me, though, had they decided to release him or do something, like they would have been showing you the other footage they have. Because there's no way they're not kind of bagging on him in some discussions, right?
They were very honest about Saquon. I mean, they were.
Yeah, but they let him go.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
my point is they kept Daniel Jones. They're not going to keep that footage in there when they were being honest about Daniel Jones.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
but
I think it just would have had a different flavor had they decided to let him go. You'd be hearing all the negative stuff in those meetings, but I do believe the teams now kind of have some kind of say over what gets put out there.
Yeah.
Where I don't know if they did in the beginning of Hard Knocks.
And there's a lot more. I would figure there's a lot more classified type info in the off season than in just camp.
Yeah, because they were probably with him through their whole draft process.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Okay, so my reports today, it's really weird. The last, I would say, 18 months of Mavericks transactions have been pretty positive, leading right up until the Clay thing. Whether you agree with it or not, they were able to get a meeting with him. They got him for less money, less years than the Lakers, which is incredible.
It's funny because I'm listening to some podcasts now that I did not. Like some Windy from like the day before that, the first day of free agency maybe, or like even Simmons was talking about where would Clay go, and they all seem to be. I mean, if the Lakers want him, he's going to the Lakers.
Yeah,
like this feels like a win.
LeBron makes one phone call, and yeah.
So
that plus the post-deadline trade, even going back to Derrick Jones Jr. on the minimum, drafting Lively, trading for Kyrie. And the interesting part about it is Cuban really hasn't had anything to do with any of it. Like, he's really kind of quickly fallen to the back of the room. And I know he still owns 40%. They were talking about how he still owned a controlling interest and he was going to be in charge of basketball operations. That's not even true anymore.
Yeah, I think what really stood out or what hit us in the face was the Western Conference Championship, and he wasn't there at all.
Right.
Like, he's always the guy on mic. He's the guy I should hand this trophy to.
Yeah, remember...
and it was just some guy we don't know who he is.
We ain't done yet in the championship season. He always wanted to make his mark up there, and it was like a big deal that he wasn't doing interviews that year.
Think about the parade with Dirk and him.
Oh, yeah.
Like, now if they had a parade, he wouldn't even be there?
He would be there for sure, but
he would be
ain't
the guy? Like, that seems really weird.
So the guy, Patrick Dumont...
He's basically been the face of the franchise.
For 25 years.
Since he bought it, yeah.
Patrick Dumont is the son-in-law of Miriam Adelson and Sheldon Adelson. So Miriam Adelson, Sheldon Adelson, billionaires a zillion times over. But we don't really know anything about them, really. I don't. I know that they're involved in casinos, and there was a thought that whenever they bought the team, because they're involved with, I guess, Sands, one of these big casino corporations, that they wanted to buy land to put a casino here eventually.
I think they have, right?
Well, they bought land near the
Around
Design District,
Texas Stadium,
and over by Old Texas Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like a thought is that'll be a new big casino with a basketball arena,
perhaps
right in the middle of it.
So there is
Which sounds kind of cool.
It does sound kind of cool. There is a very, very dude. Let's just imagine your perfect night, right? There's a hotel there. There's an arena. There's a casino. There's a sports book. You could just go in there, lay down a ton of bets before the game, go to the bar with your boys, go to the game, go back to the casino afterward, and then go up to a nice casino hotel.
The prostitutes are going to be right behind that, Jake.
Creeping around that place.
New York Magazine did a really long article on Miriam around the time that the Adelsons bought the team. They are, or she is, I believe, the largest Republican donor in the world. She's at least up there. They say she's the largest female, but then when it comes to Trump, she gave like $500 million because she was able to do it through different means.
$500 million. So
Over his
wasn't that
lifetime.
one of the why they were saying they think she'll be able to get this done is because she'll be just donating a ton to all the Republican lawmakers in Texas, because that's who they listen to, right?
Yeah. Okay, so combined, so Sheldon, the husband, who since passed away, he had given $273 million. Miriam, who's 12 years younger, has given $284 million to date. They gave 25 each to Trump super PACs in 2016, another 90 million during a 3-month stretch in 2020. So not 500 total, but they have given around 200 plus just to Trump. They gave more to federal GOP causes in 19 and 20 than the next 3 donors combined. They run the Republican Party.
Okay.
And it is known what they're about. And what they're about is Israel. She was born in Israel.
Okay.
And is super, super stoked on Israel. Like, that's her main thing. And obviously what happened with the terrorist attack, in the last year that killed a couple thousand people, she's pretty stoked.
She's against it.
Very much against it. And she... yeah, she's against it.
She thinks it's bad.
Yes. Rather have
Gave
had
a thumbs
it
down.
not happen.
Yeah.
Let's see. So she was at I'm going to butcher a bunch of these words because I don't know anything about Judaism or Hebrew. In this article, it says Adelson ate Shabbat dinner at Mar-a-Lago with Trump in 2019. Adelson wrote in her newspaper, "Would it be too much to pray for a day when the Bible gets a book of Trump, much like it has a book of Esther, celebrating deliverance of the Jews from ancient Persia?" So she is like basically in charge of crafting Israel-Palestine policy for the Republican Party. And she does not believe in a two-state solution. She does not believe in, quote, peace in the way that even Trump has talked about before. She wants to annihilate. And she has the money to convince these people to do it. There's a funny moment in this article, just to let you know how crazy this woman is, where tie all this together, her oldest daughter is a cast member on the Israeli version of Shark Tank.
Okay.
Wait a second. So she's a Cuban on the Israeli Shark Tank.
They have a handful of them.
Okay.
Around the world. But yeah, her oldest daughter is a Cuban on Shark Tank.
Yeah, she's
a
Mr.
regular.
Mrs. Wonderful.
She's not one of the ones that they bring in, on a 2-off or something.
Mm-hmm.
So she was interviewing her mom on stage at some Jewish women type thing, conference, convention, forum. And Adelson said, they're talking about women and women's rights. We have to really attain a situation that a woman is equal to a man. Of course, that makes me think of Borat. Woman,
man.
Equal to a man.
The order, what is the order?
It goes man, horse, dog, little Cthulhu, woman. We are in the this is wild, okay? We are the same way in many respects, except that we give birth. The writer says, then Adelson veered into science fiction. But one can implant an embryo in a man's belly, and he can give birth by C-section. On stage, her daughter...
She said that?
Yes. On stage, alarmed, her daughter said, I don't think so. But Adelson persevered. I encountered a few days ago a friend who specializes in uterus implantation for women who had undergone a uterus removal. He says there is no obstacle to implanting a uterus into a man. Her daughter switched the topic and wrapped up the event.
Okay.
So the lady who essentially funds the Mavericks, we can talk about what this means in a minute. She doesn't run it. Her money does, though, by way of her son-in-law. Believes that you can...
Her son-in-law was the guy that accepted the trophy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's married to that daughter who's on Shark Tank?
I don't think it's that daughter.
Okay.
I don't think so. They've got 4 or 5 kids, I believe,
okay,
ranging in ages. She had a kid at 52.
Okay, nice.
Nice. So, yeah, the lady whose money runs the Mavericks believes that a man can get pregnant and give birth by C-section and wants to participate in what some people would term a genocide, and kind of is the reason Trump will probably, like, she'll be Trump's biggest donor.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you agree with that or not, I mean, they all have shady or donors that you might find objectionable, and, go on down the list of NBA owners. Cuban was actually probably an outlier in that he wasn't just like a hard-line Republican. Most people with $1 billion.
So is it odd that they are in bed together, or is it like that's what business is? You can't just sit there and...
I think that's just what business is.
I mean, it's like LeBron and China or whatever. You claim to be for human rights, but you want to make all that China money. So,
I mean, some of that China money. But the interesting part of it is, and it's been all smooth sailing so far. He's the leader in the locker room. He called and recruited Klay Thompson. But I wonder how long it takes for Kyrie to figure out what exactly the money that backs his checks that he gets are coming from.
I mean, he likes China money too.
Yeah, but he also missed a ton of game checks because he didn't want to get a vaccine. So
yeah, but that was for a personal, if that was his personal belief, it wasn't that he was, he didn't even question, I don't think publicly question Fauci and all that. He just I don't believe this is right for me.
I can't remember, but you're probably right. I just wonder if he ever makes a comment.
And he likes what's right for him, and what's right for him is $30 million a year.
And here's what what will happen is he won't make a comment. Eventually, someone's going to ask him about this.
Yeah.
Around the time of the election, someone is going to ask him about, hey, how do you feel about the fact that the woman whose money funds your governor, is the largest donor to President Trump right now and believes in this, and this, and he's going to be put.
I wonder if they will. I mean, he'd have to be.
It won't be someone in Dallas.
No, I was going to say he'd have to be in a more informal environment like this. It's not going to be at a press conference. It's not going to be after a game at the podium. Tim McMahon won't pose that.
Right.
On his Twitch stream.
Yeah, it might be that somebody asked him.
You can ignore that though.
In the comments. Yeah. Has he done one of those lately?
I don't think so.
They're always pretty entertaining.
The last one where he was sitting down,
burning
crisscross
sage,
applesauce, burning sage.
But
if
there was a player on the Mavs that would want to discuss if a man can carry a pregnancy, it's probably Kyrie.
That's what I'm saying.
They may get along.
And he may just want to keep getting, as Dan said, $30-40 million a year, but it's kind of interesting that in the same organization they have the guy who's been a lightning rod for speaking out about this and this and that and that. And
the Cubes.
No, I mean Kyrie.
Okay. The Cubes too. I mean, he's...
Yeah, that's true.
I'm making fun of you joking about, you interacting with people. Cubes loves doing that on Twitter.
Yeah.
And he's pro DEI or, he'll zig if Twitter is zagging, and he'll engage people for sure.
Yeah, and I don't think she'll do that publicly too much. But behind the scenes, she is. You know how this works. There's
She's
20
puppet master.
There's 20 people who run the entire country, possibly the entire world.
And it's not people that you really know who they are.
No.
She did get us to the finals.
She did get us to the finals.
That's the problem. Is it's been we got Clay.
Let's
get a ring out of this thing, maybe.
Let me try to play a tiny little bit of audio here, Blake, and see if I have this properly. Okay, this is her. She has a heavy, heavy Israeli accent. This was at a Texas Business Association conference, I believe, earlier this year. It was after they had bought the team. The sale had gone through. So she's in Austin. And listen to her try to pander. And also listen that she has no acknowledgement at all for people who are not religious.
Shalom, friends and colleagues. Or maybe being in Austin, I could say, howdy partners. Did I say it correct? Howdy? Howdy? Howdy. Howdy partners.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
Appreciate you pandering to us. Just listen to a little bit of this.
For partners, we truly are Christians and Jews, conservatives and liberal,
Okay, well, I'm neither. Do I have to leave now?
Yeah.
Like, this is a weird way to talk. You're at a business thing, and you're like, and she also posed it as like a diametric thing of, on one side you have liberals and then Christians, liberals and conservatives, and then Christians and Jews.
Yeah, well,
it's just weird.
Yeah. Well, they seem to have one pretty big fundamental difference. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not very religious, but
There's a baseline one that
it seems like Jesus existed or didn't is a kind of a big thing, right?
I don't know enough.
Is that their big bit?
No.
The big-
Yeah.
Jesus something?
Yeah, we don't need to.
Because there's like a Jews for Jesus. I've heard of that.
Yes. And there are also Christians who are super stoked on Israel.
I like living on the outside of everything and not knowing.
You can go back.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I just
I can go in. I can dive in.
No, just go. Just don't care anymore.
Oh,
Who
get
cares?
back out of the
Yeah.
outside. No, that's kind of where I am. But I like you said, Paul. You know, I mean,
Got to the final.
do they you know, how are they spending to
Yeah.
the cap? Are
Yeah.
they
Got
willing to
Clay?
go over that first apron? Are they? You know, those are some pretty important things. And
Yeah.
the most important thing is anything she doing turning off number
Luka.
77?
Yeah, it's just like it really helps that he's like just a complete robot.
Oblivious to the everything. He just wants to play and drive his
Hang out with his
sports
dog.
car and
Hit the hookah.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll learn more about this family over the years, but they're right now. It seems like nobody really talks about the fact that the guy who's been the face of the franchise alongside Dirk for 2+ decades is just kind of gone.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Like I saw him on Shark Tank the other night. They're just flipping around, and I'm like, oh, Cuban.
Yeah, that's really, really interesting.
Like it's not Jerry, but it's not that far off.
I never thought he would ever give up control of the Mavs. I thought we would have had his kid or somebody running it someday because he just seems so into it.
He's got a football jersey that
And-
says Mavericks on it.
And so I thought I heard there were some rumors about like, okay, well, it was because he really took a bath in crypto, and that's why he's cash poor. But then crypto like kind of bounced back pretty big. Crypto's doing great right now, right? But did he sell before that? And would he sell if he's a true believer in crypto long term? Would he, do that because of that?
It wouldn't make much sense.
Then I heard also there was thoughts that, well, he knows this NBA media bubble's about to burst. The ratings keep going down. It's not the NFL. And then look what happened.
They signed like a mega deal
right
for
after
rights.
that.
After that, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, because that is something we've heard forever.
Like John Wall can't keep making $50 million a year. Like, well, what if he made 60?
Right now, yeah, it's incredible. Really, the spares and it's funny. Anytime like a spare gets a big contract, like I'll see. Yeah, I guess it depends what your algorithm is, but I'll see like so and so who averaged 7 points and 6 rebounds or whatever is now making $2 million a year more than Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Like you've never heard of the guy. He's the 8th man for the Knicks, and he's making $8 million a year or whatever.
Along those same lines, but not quite the same. Just because we're talking Clay.
$8 million a year. I should say 18 million.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Green got like 12.
Yeah.
And was a non-playable.
And people were like, "Oh, yeah, good deal."
Good deal. This is so Tobias Harris just signed a contract. I think it was 2 years, $52 million with Detroit, I want to say. Okay, Tobias Harris, decent player, but let's be serious. Klay Thompson, 4-time NBA champion, 5-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, 1-time All-Defense, $316 million. Career. Tobias Harris finished 20th in most improved player voting in 2018, $300 million.
Dang.
Really? He's made that much?
Yeah. That's just such a disrespectful note to put on someone.
Yeah.
Finished 20th in
Like
most
that's the
improved player
high
in
water
2018.
mark?
Yeah, there's only like, what, 100?
Shouldn't they stop
80
counting
guys?
after 5?
You would think. I had no idea. That's one guy. Like one guy voted for him, and that's how you finished 20th. $300 million.
But yeah, he was Toby and Bobby.
And he's got the goldfish money, yeah, with Toby and Bobby.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Just lucrative goldfish money.
Yeah. The funniest part about those commercials, too, is like nobody knows who Tobias Harris is. They just know there's a guy next to a big guy. Maybe people know Boban. He's been in a lot of commercials. He was in John Wick. But, yeah, $300 million.
How about this? That particular report is brought to you by Frankel and Frankel. I want to make sure we give them some love today because they are a top sponsor for us.
And also because, it's a wild weekend.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot going on out there.
There are more accidents on July 4th than any other summer holiday.
Wow. You're going to need to know.
So you're going to need
What, like Arbor Day? What other summer holiday is there?
I think Labor Day and Memorial Day both count.
Those count as summer holidays?
Just reading the copy.
Oh.
Really wish you wouldn't hammer it on me, but yeah. So yeah, the phone number 214-817-333-3333.
Yeah.
I'd actually like to direct you to not only call the Frankels if you are in an accident. Right after you call the police, call them. I would also like to challenge Dan on the idea that Memorial Day and Labor Day aren't summer holidays.
Well, Memorial Day is like the first day of summer type thing.
That
so
would,
I guess
in my mind, make it a summer holiday.
Yeah, I guess it's not the last day of spring.
And I think Labor Day, a lot of times, is considered the end of summer.
Yeah, okay.
If you're on a boat, it's a summer. If you can be on a boat and be in the water, I would call that a summer holiday.
And if another boat hits your boat?
I would call 214-817-3333.
Would they deal with that, too?
33.
These guys can't be stopped.
It's not just auto accidents. It's any personal injury?
That's right. If
Okay.
I come over there and whip your ass for how surly you're being today. No, I don't think that falls into their purview,
But I do know they will fight the insurance companies, and that's a thing that is a beating. Like right now, we're dealing with our insurance company with the roof. Not the same thing, but if we were in an accident, the insurance, like you ever try and call to get better, to get your, let's see, a medical thing done? Like they're always just trying to not give you money.
Yep.
The Frankels are trying to get you money.
Yep. They're not just the personal injury attorneys you need. They're the ones you deserve.
Yeah.
I just
and when you call, you'll talk to a partner. You're not going to just talk to some moron. You're going to talk to, like some places they say, let's just put the moron up front, and you can just talk to them. No, you will talk to a partner when you call 214 or 817, and then all threes. 333-333-333. Frankel and Frankel.
Paul's in roofing.
Call them and thank them for sponsoring the Dumb Zone.
Yeah, mention that. See how weird it feels to tell somebody the word the Dumb Zone.
Yeah. Just say the podcast. Yeah. You're in roofing, Paul?
I'm in roofing, yeah. And before I was in roofing, I was in insurance. I worked for insurance companies as an adjuster for a while. So.
Okay, so you do know that the insurance companies are not trying to give more money.
That's right. They're not just handing it out.
Their whole bit is to try and give less.
They will say that is not their bit, but they will do it.
But you're an insider.
Yep.
You know that they
I'm the
may
Frankel
not
and Frankel of roofing companies. I'll help you with your battle, Dan. I got you.
Okay.
Long sleeves up on the roof?
Got to. In a hood.
Yeah.
Got validated this morning, boys.
Gotta have it.
Long sleeves in the hood could mean a lot of things.
No white.
What
on
is
our
the top
job
of the
site.
Hey, the rental property had its lawn worked on today, and everybody said, hey, you're a dummy. Anybody who's ever worked on a lawn crew knows you got to wear long sleeves, you got to wear the hood, you got to wear long pants. And I said, I only ever see Latinos doing that.
Here's a guy just looking it online. He's looking
Look at it. He's standing up.
Huh.
Oh, the white guy.
Huh.
In jorts.
He's wearing jorts.
Jorts?
And tall
that
socks.
That doesn't seem like a good idea either.
Oh. It seems actually like the worst idea.
Yeah, it seems really hot.
How hard did you work to get that picture?
Well, I mean, somebody said, this is people that listen, they're cool. People were just like, you guys are a bunch of city boys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe, I definitely am not blue collar, for sure. I'm not trying to fake the funk here, but.
I should try my morning walk with a long sleeve shirt. I just want to check my steps.
Get your 3K?
Because I told you, today is now day 3 of the rest of my life. We all started our new lives on Monday.
I ran this morning.
3,500. Now I didn't yesterday because yesterday was gym day, so I got to pace myself.
You better catch up, Blake.
But I had 3,500 steps this morning. Is that a lot?
I don't know. I don't do steps, but it sounds like a lot.
I burned 2,000 calories playing basketball the other night.
Okay.
If you say I feel old if I'm talking into my phone,
Yeah.
voice to text,
That's
I
not
feel
good.
like counting steps is old.
Yeah.
But my daughter does it.
I do it too, and I felt some kind of way when they were bagging on you for it, Dan, because I'm constantly talking to text.
Talk to text or steps?
Talk to text.
Okay.
Come on, let's. He's a man.
What?
The steps thing is.
Is kind of gay? Okay.
Yeah, I just don't. I've never really.
I guess I
embraced the
never
talk
used
text.
to. You know, if I would go out for a 3-mile run, I was more of a 2-mile run guy if I ever ran.
Same. I'm not trying to.
But I guess that's probably would be a ton of steps, and now it's like, well, no, I'm just gonna walk for a mile, and then that makes you feel really old. It's kind of like playing softball. Like I vowed I'd never play softball.
Yeah, but you stay in that fat burning zone for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's right.
The blue zone.
Yeah.
So the only other sports thing I have two for you actually. There's a long article on ESPN by Ramona Shelburne and I can't recall who else about Clay leaving Golden State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's worth your time. I mean,
very interested. I'm very interested in all things Clay right now.
The gist of it basically is, they gave Steph his deal. This was never going to go a different way. But then when they gave Draymond his deal,
yeah,
and it was 4 for $100, and they were never willing to go over 2 years, and I believe anything around $20 million with Clay. And what really screwed him and pissed off Clay was when after they won the championship, because you remember he was out 2 years, and when he came back, they won that year. Then they signed Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins to massive contracts, and Jordan Poole immediately started to suck. Mm-hmm. And Draymond punched him, and everything fell apart.
That's when we thought they might be rolling out a few more titles.
Yeah,
if Jordan Poole develops, and
he looked great.
Yeah,
and then they traded him.
They eventually did. Yeah,
okay.
They kept Wiggins. They still have Wiggins, but
yeah,
that apparently really pissed him off, and they kept telling him like, "We're gonna get you done. We're gonna get you done, but wait. We just have to do this in the right order. Wait." And I think Poole was pissed off because he was starting, and then when Clay came back, Poole had to go to the bench. It was just not a good situation for Clay.
The world of respect.
Yeah.
You can't just pay $20 million.
Yeah.
You got to give respect.
Yeah, I guess. And they said that the article said that his agents, maybe before the start of this year, offered the Warriors 4 different contract options, structures, and money, and they were like, "We're not doing this now." And so he just went through the entire year last year pissed off.
Seething, yeah.
And would tell anybody who asked or didn't ask about it. And he's not that type of guy. Mm-hmm. Like, Clay's a very quiet dude. There's been times where I wondered if he had, like, a pulse or a personality at all. Again, as I told you, I think he's just baked a lot.
Yeah, you could see that, though. I mean, obviously Steph is Steph.
Yeah.
But Draymond?
Okay,
those
maybe
other
I'll give you
guys?
Draymond.
Maybe Draymond, but
Jordan Poole?
if there was a big 3, that's us. Like, let's keep us all together here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've got the money to do it. So that apparently did not sit well with him. And then, as we talked about the other day, when it comes to the Lakers, his whole bit was, I just want like a fresh start. And going from fishbowl to fishbowl, and in the second one, your dad worn that jersey. Mm-hmm. That's not really much better. It's not like Dallas is Orlando, but it's not L.A.
Yeah.
And then
and you're kind of now the pecking order on how good you have to be
Yeah, what the expectations.
Yeah.
His dad went on a rant on Sirius XM
about
how he really, really, really wanted Clay to go to L.A.
Oh.
Like, really wanted.
Cool. So we got another player whose family is going to
Here, let me see if I can play this for
chime
you.
in left and right on things that happen. That'll be fun.
Probably so, yeah. But this one, I'm not really sure.
Well, hook him up with Zeke's mom.
Zeke's mom, yeah. Now, we did.
Or Tad.
We have said that we've essentially traded Clay for Tim Hardaway Jr. I don't think Michael Thompson has ever just said, I hate gay people. I didn't pull this, but I'll see if I can play a little bit.
Not too feeling too much in the
All right.
Yeah, hold your congratulations, Frank, and Scal. I'm not too feeling too much in a congratulatory mood right now. Because obviously it's Clay's decision, it's his life. He's a grown man, 34 years of age, just like we were 34 at one time. Scal, Frank, and our father used to give us advice, and we would go choose our own path, and that's fine. That's what life is supposed to be about. But I'm really disappointed. I was hoping, as you can assess, that he would be a Laker, and it was close. It came down to the Lakers and the Mavs, but the Mavs won out. But me, I was hoping and praying he'd finish his career with the Lakers.
All right, that's enough. Yeah. How weird would it be if you decided to make, like, if when we did what we did, somebody would pop your mom on and be like, "What do you think of your your son's decision to punt away more money?"
Yeah, it was bad enough kind of hearing from friends that didn't totally catch.
That'd be a
what you're
weird
going
scene.
with. Yeah.
I got a sports dirty sound. You want to hear it? You don't have a choice.
Let's just hear.
So they're doing.
We'll decide if it's dirty or not.
We told you about these. Somebody sent it to me and said it's dirty. That's you guys are the judge and jury. We talked about these meetings that the SEC teams are having, these big festivals where they have Schloss out there. They've got the OUAD and whatever. I don't know what's going on, but apparently the ACC had one, which SMU is now a part of. And they're at some ACC launch party, and their volleyball coach is there. And apparently SMU is really, really good at volleyball. So she was asked, what does it feel like? This is on ESPN. What does it feel like to be in a bigger conference and playing in the ACC? So you guys tell me.
Amazing. It feels like we are coming.
Okay. That is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to concur.
Yep.
What's her point?
Really what did it for me is the way she says it. She
Yeah.
didn't say we're coming. She's like, we are coming.
Amazing. It feels like we are coming.
What?
That's an SMU thing?
Yeah.
Boy, SMU is going hardcore on getting people to get excited about this.
Man, I saw...
Didn't they get in trouble?
Did they?
Did you see, like, Troy Aikman? Sports Mayor had a video. Troy Aikman. They're just getting anybody left and right that'll do anything. Dirk.
Yeah.
Just to get to act like they're excited. You tell me Troy Aikman cares that the SMU is in the ACC?
I don't know. Probably not.
No. They're like, hey, Troy,
100%.
will you do this?
No.
Will you read this thing for us? Yeah, all right.
They are raking in a boatload of cash, though. I'll tell you that.
About that. Apparently they were falsifying their athletic donations, which is tax fraud.
Okay.
So they're being investigated for that.
Boy, they're going to just get SMU no matter what. Like in the era when everybody is paying their players, they still busted them.
Yeah, when no one was.
Now it's an era when you're allowed to pay players, yet somehow they're still finding a loophole to penalize SMU.
That's the only reason they haven't ascended to national dominance.
Right.
Otherwise.
Yeah.
You would think, though, they would be, like, on top of it there.
You would. I've always said that recruiting-wise, recruiting-wise and money-wise, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense why they've never been able to level up to even TCU's level consistently. I've never understood it. I'm sure there's a bunch of people who have a bunch of reasons for it that make a ton of sense. But I don't know. I've never really got it. It's they seemingly could be able to recruit the same athlete.
One other sports note, I didn't look into it because you said, did you hear about Al Michaels?
Oh, yeah. So
what is that?
This story's been out there for a little bit, but apparently when Olympic coverage starts, the Olympics are going to use AI Al Michaels. Of course, who issued one of the most famous lines in sports history with "Do you believe in miracles?" Yeah. So they're going to use.
I wonder what that means.
NBC approached him with an idea to recreate his voice using artificial intelligence for its coverage this summer. He had a few reservations. He said, "What would I sound like? Would I sound like a guy who just spews cliches? Would my voice be different?" He was very skeptical until he heard the AI himself. Said, frankly, it was astonishing, it was amazing, and it was frightening. Said he was left in awe of the nuance. It was not only close, it was almost 2% off perfect. So they trained the AI to match Michael's delivery using his past appearances. And I guess they're going to, for like recaps, like your daily Olympic recap, which will be on Peacock, they will have that text that they would write, that copy that they would write for an anchor, and they will feed that into their gizmo, and it will spit out Al Michaels breaking down the day's, slalom.
Have you guys heard? Did you see a thing where
not slalom, summer? Yeah, the track.
Somebody was doing Dave Raymond AI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't know if it sounds like him.
It doesn't. It's yeah.
He's really excited to be out here. As you can see, he doesn't smile at all, meaning he's really excited. He's out here in Dodger Stadium looking for revenge against his former team. No. And here's the pitch from Buehler. And that is sent deep into right field. There it goes. Goodbye. Corey Seager just shit on that baseball.
Oh, that sounds like him.
He owns the fucking fraudulent Dodgers as he rounds the bases knowing he owns that fraudulent franchise who didn't win a single real World Series. They should have beat freaking Houston Trastros when they cheated in 2017.
Now he's going
Seager
frickin'.
Fucked that ball up. You think I'm going to get fired for cussing there?
Yeah.
I mean, the highest levels, like, I don't know, NBC can probably get the dopest dope you ever smoked.
Yeah.
But some guy on TikTok, it's not going to work.
Is Lawrence here, or should we do a little mail?
He's here.
Oh, he's here? All right, well, let's grab a little break then.
The Dumbs Up.
All right, YouTube viewers, I'd like to take some time to wish everybody a very happy 4th of July weekend. In many cases, it's a 4-day weekend, so hope everybody gets a chance to rest and relax this weekend and enjoy time with their family. And I hope you get a chance to read the Declaration of Independence. It's a very important document to read. So enjoy this weekend, enjoy time with your family. From the Spangenberg and Sunflower Farm, this is Kai Ramsey for YouTube Sports.
Remember him?
Of course.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
I wonder if he's still doing stuff.
He was always kind of hard to pin down. I mean, you guys had him on, but he would post very sporadically.
Yeah.
His last video, the title is My Annual Butterball Hotline Call. This is from 7 months ago. So that must have had...
Oh, wow. 7 months ago? He hasn't been in the game?
No, I mean, I would have thought it was
No
years.
puppet.
There it is.
Thank you.
We do that for the people. Because we don't want you to read negative comments on Reddit.
I'm gonna...
Since you're a Reddit guy now.
You should have never brought it up.
Hey, look who's here. It's Lawrence Rosales, our good friend, local comedian, has returned to the broadcast location we were at today, high atop my garage.
I love it. This is way more comfortable.
Good afternoon. Oh, then the studio? You've been both places.
Yeah.
You're one of the few guys.
Also, I feel like anytime somebody wants you to read the Constitution, they're not doing well. You think that's pretty baseline?
Yeah, I mean, that guy's not doing well in general. There's a whole backstory, but yeah, I mean, it's funny because I was actually already planning on reading the Declaration this weekend. So, if you guys can...
Yeah, I mean, that's what me and the kids do every July.
What's funny, though, is that much like that one thing we found with the Gen Z Bible, I have the Gen Z Declaration of Independence.
Oh, wow. That'd be great.
It would be.
Giving freedom.
It's giving liberty.
You guys enjoying the Mango Papaya Paradise hand soap that I got in there now?
It's lovely.
I feel like it's really something. I hope you just go in there, Lawrence, just to wash your hands.
It feels like paradise.
I will.
You really got the dirt dauber blood off of my hands.
Yeah, staying there a little too long.
We're here with 690 sit-in Paul Fenn. What is your... So you said you have a roofing company. You want to give that a plug?
Sure, yeah. It's Fenn Roofing. FennRoofing.com.
FENN.
FENN.
You have to do that.
F-E-N-N.
Because it could have been F-I-N, the way he said it there.
That's right. Fenn Roofing.
So if you're calling a Chinese restaurant to tell them, you need to just give a different word. Because I always give Daniel. Anyway, so fennroofing.com.
Yes, sir.
And can you put on any? Did you see my neighbor? My new. They just built a house across the street, and they have those metal roofs.
Yeah, we can do just about anything. We do a little bit of commercial, residential.
That guy's a
re-roofing.
builder, though.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'm getting the best roof you could ever get.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make noise. It feels like a metal roof would make noise.
It makes noise, but some people like that.
Okay.
Soothing. Sound of metal, sound of rain on a metal roof.
All right.
But you don't like it because then it can't be destroyed by hail.
It can be if it's big enough. So
Okay.
anything can be destroyed.
What do you got going, Lawrence?
Oh,
Local comedian, of course.
I've got big shows this weekend. That's what I was talking to Blake. I'm headlining TK's all weekend. TK's is in Addison. It's right off Beltline. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Damn.
Yes. So
grind of a weekend. One show each or what?
I think it's 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, then 1 on Sunday.
Wow, look at this. And the promo, they got you in a suit.
Yeah, that's from the special taping.
Man,
How difficult is that to do multiple shows in a day?
I mean, it's not asking a lot. You know, it's like doing 2 of these.
Which feels like I couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. It just takes a lot out of you. And then I always just wonder about the, obviously going on stage and doing the same material.
Well, luckily, I'm somebody, like, I like to do crowd work. I definitely change the sets up. I have a little ADHD.
You can change the order of things somehow?
Yeah. If I keep it exactly the same, like, I start thinking about, like, what I want to get to eat after when I'm in the middle of talking. And that's when I know, like, okay, we gotta throw an audible here.
I always wonder how weird it would be to work in a place like that, a comedy club.
No, I was just in El Paso, and I was talking to the bartender, because where the bar is, like, it's in the showroom. And I'm like, because I was like, how long have you been working here? He's like, about 6 months. I'm like, so you have to watch every single show, and you could just see him stare at the ground? Like, if you're having to watch every single show, that's a beating of a job.
And to hear the exact same things
over.
I guess you're probably pretty good at, analyzing comedians, though.
Yeah, I mean, the staff that's worked there forever, if they give you a compliment, like, you take it.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I just did 5 shows in El Paso, which was, I'd avoided El Paso for a long time.
I was going to say, was that the start of where things went south?
No, not
Where
at all.
was that?
There's just so many Mexicans, and I don't speak Spanish, so I just always worry they hate me.
But they think you do.
They think I do, but then they find out I don't. But I enjoy, have you guys been to El Paso?
I've been through there, but I've never actually hung out there.
Yeah, keep it moving.
Yeah.
No, it is Wakanda for Mexicans. It is it's a beautiful place. Like, the white people look like they work construction.
Yeah.
All the Latinos are on billboards. They're doctors and lawyers. It was a very magical place.
Sorry, I think I just misplaced the start of your meth journey.
Oh no, that was New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do we need to reset that? That's at least a big part of your comedy, right? Or at least one of your specials was.
Yeah. Would definitely revolved around.
You will be very honest.
The first time I saw him was opening from Nick of the former Cumtown, and it was a part of the set that night.
Yeah. And I've tried to move away from it. I'll kind of wait till the late show on Saturday to kind of be to throw out all the really dark stuff and just see how they handle it.
Okay, so you hold on to that.
Yeah, I've been trying to. Kind of moving on to some degree. Now a lot of the acts about, the kid and about men being more romantic than women. Just trying to stir it up a little bit.
Boy, I guess in my life haven't found that to be the case as far as men being more romantic.
I don't know. I think there's something to that.
Maybe as a young guy, I was trying to get to home base.
Yeah.
So I would do stuff that I would not do now.
Yeah. I think there's something to it. I'd like to hear your logic, but you don't have to blow the joke.
I think women don't do romance. They receive romance. We're the ones doing all the romancing.
That's a good point.
Right?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Nobody ever made a bed of roses for me.
Yeah.
Whenever I walked in, there was
they want it.
Yeah, they're fans of it, but they don't do it.
Right.
Yeah. They might buy you I got a Cowboys pennant for Father's Day.
Exactly.
It was a nice gift, but it was nice. Exactly.
Oh, my wife gave me that
Oh,
poster.
yeah, Wonder Woman poster
Oh,
over here.
Wonder Woman poster. That was very romantic.
Cool, but it's
It
not
was
like,
in the garbage at work. She works at a school and said it was in the garbage, and she thought she knew. She goes, "You used to like the original Wonder Woman, Linda Carter, so I grabbed this for you."
It's like, yeah, I was jerking off.
Yeah, I was. But I also thought, had that been a poster of Linda Carter, now we might be talking.
Yeah.
This is a...
It'd be weirder, though.
It would be very weird.
It'd be weirder if you put a Linda Carter poster up. That kind of fits the Superman motif, but yeah.
But then she hung it up for me.
He's definitely onto something.
Yeah, yeah.
I just feel like women don't compliment us the way we compliment women, you know?
Well, is that because we don't need it, too?
I think I'd like it.
I would like it.
I would love it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would love just a little bit of romancing. You know what I mean?
Like the classic, you didn't notice that I cut my hair? That's
Yeah.
like a big one, right? I mean, I got a pretty drastic haircut the other day, and I didn't get a word from it. The only time I ever hear anything about my haircut is if it's like, ooh, she fucked that up.
Yeah.
It's never like,
Never
boy,
like, that looks
boy,
great.
She nailed it. Yeah. It's never that.
And they'll tell you when you need one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
I was just thinking about how, like, because whenever I was thinking about it on stage, it's like I had this man after a show come up to me like 8 years ago after the show, and I was going to shake his hand as he was leaving, and he's grabbed me with both of his hands, and he looked me in the eyes, and he said, "You have beautiful eyes." And then he just walked off.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's 8 years. I think about that man all the time. I think about him all the time. I was like, this is the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far. That guy was almost certainly straight.
Either way.
Yeah, but I just mean, like,
Just-
it doesn't have to be a sexual thing. I think dudes should do that more.
Yeah, like nice legs.
Yeah.
Who don't like compliments?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Who doesn't like compliments?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We all do.
Okay. Well, you've turned us, or you've turned me. I thought at first this is a terrible bit you've got. Guys aren't, but you're right. We have to be more romantic because we're trying to score. For them to score, it's pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a Wonder Woman poster out of
Pull
the trash.
a boob out or something, or just do whatever. They can.
What is
Pull a
anyone
boob
pulling
out.
one boob out?
Hey, I'm ready to go.
That's about all it takes.
Oh.
So have you ever done that many shows? I guess you've done a weekend of 5 shows before.
Yeah.
Pretty often. That's that's the standard. Is Sunday?
Sunday's a little irregular. Like this week, we did Thursday through Sunday in El Paso.
Sunday
which
seems
that's
like
bit
a
of
beating.
grind.
What's
No,
the
Sunday's always
earliest
a
show
beating.
you've ever done?
You should never do comedy when the sun's still up, but like it's it's like 6 o'clock. I think it's an early one. That's way too early.
Okay, I didn't know if you ever did like a noon set or something.
Like at a festival or some bit like that?
Well, yeah. I do the State Fair of Texas. I performed there several years, and the first couple of years, like they had us doing it during the day, and it went terrible. And now they wised up. They put it in a smaller venue, and now they have it at night. And now it's a great show.
Because I went to Branson.
You sure did.
You know what Branson is?
Where's
Branson, Missouri?
Missouri, yeah.
Yeah. And we went there many years ago because my wife wanted to stop there on the way we were driving to Cleveland to see the Andy Williams Christmas show. Andy Williams used to always, sing Christmas songs, and it was fun. But we were in the ticket office to buy tickets to Andy Williams, and there were some other people there in line, and they were there to buy tickets to Yakov Smirnoff's comedy show. And they were trying to decide between, because it was for the next day, the 10 a.m. or the 1 p.m.
He was doing comedy at 10 a.m.?
And then he's done by 4 every day. That's his life. Yakov Smirnoff.
He's just tired? He's just tired, I guess.
I mean, he's probably, I don't know if he's 80. He feels like...
He's 73, but also that's his crowd.
Right.
That's true.
His
That's
crowd
true.
is Cold War humor, so those people that live through it are like, I'm eating lunch.
I'm not
eating
staying
dinner
up
at 4 o'clock.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's what as you know, I now go to bed by 11, 11:15, 11:30 at the very latest, and it's like, oh, man, that's a late night for me to go see, like, Lawrence's second show. Do you do the 4 o'clock? I would...
Dude, even for me now, like I wake up so early most days, and some days I fall asleep before the sun goes down.
Yep.
I think that's depression. I'm like, there's
Could
just
be.
too many hours in this day. I'm just gonna knock a few of them out.
Yeah.
But when the show's like on Saturdays, like the second one's at 10:30, I just think, oh my god. you know, I got to power through this somehow.
Are you like once an addict? You're like always an addict. If you were into heroin?
No, meth.
What was it? Meth.
Heroin scared me. Yeah.
Okay.
Got to have a
But
needle.
meth, you're like, hey, cool.
Yeah, you know, it's more casual.
Is that smoking?
Yeah.
Usually.
Whereas
Typically.
heroin, you'd have to
got to get a needle,
pierce your skin.
I think meth is a lot more common than heroin.
Okay.
Wouldn't you agree? I guess I've just never really been around heroin.
Meth people are definitely going to talk to you more. You know, maybe it's just a more
Let you know
yeah.
about it.
Heroin addicts, I think, kind of lay low. You know.
Okay. But I mean, are you just like an addict? So you don't do anything. You don't drink a glass of wine.
I
You
drink.
don't-
I drink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know how that worked.
One of the good ones.
Because some people, some people that drink or that are alcoholics are like, I'll be like, you ever take a gummy or something? Like, no, I can't.
Like Ralph, you know.
Yeah.
I remember hearing Ralph Strangis, who got way into crack, I think, right? Coke,
crack, something. Yeah.
That he really
Cocaine,
wanted to enjoy the THC, but didn't think he could.
Yeah.
No, and like I drank half of a THC seltzer the other day.
I got a couple in the fridge for
And
Nan
what
today.
it led to is I just talked to a stranger at a pool, which
They're
is something
awesome,
I wouldn't
aren't they?
normally do. Yeah, I was just very relaxed and calm. I hadn't indulged in a very long time, and it was just nice. It was just pleasant.
They're
There was
nice.
it definitely wasn't going to lead to crack.
Yeah.
You know, that's for sure. You know,
Or back to meth.
Yeah, or back to
But
meth.
if we pulled out some meth, would you be like, yes, I got to do it because I'm an addict of meth?
No. I mean, I'm over 3 years now.
Okay.
And like I definitely know that I cannot dabble. Like if I touched it, then I'd be in trouble.
Did you attempt to use meth recreationally?
I mean, nobody goes into it being like, I'm going to let this ruin my life. Like, you know, like, well, does that door say ruin my life? I'm going to waltz through that one, you know, with just low expectations, you know, to see what happens. But, you know, I just wanted cocaine. No, it was, I mean.
People do it.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be casual.
Jesse, right?
Casual.
On Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I mean, he had a pretty rough go of it, but there are people,
Got through
dude.
it.
There are people in professional fields that will dabble in smoking meth.
Because growing up, do you remember how, pot was vilified?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you would always kind of hear in the background, oh, yeah, there are lawyers that'll smoke a little pot. And you're like, really? You never hear about that. Growing up, it was always Cheech and Chong. That's pot.
Yeah.
There's no guy. Yeah, now it's become so mainstream. But you're saying
I don't think we're going to normalize meth to the degree that pot has become ever.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's not natural, and it's also way more addictive than pot.
It's crazy to me that like we flip out about like weed or something, and then it's like everybody who's in politics is like going to jail. Right? It's like what is illegal anymore?
Well, apparently, according to the Supreme Court the other day, nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Can't we all just have a good time then? Isn't that what we're learning?
Well, this thing burns.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
And I get jealous of people that can do cocaine like casually. I don't want to do cocaine ever again, but I knew people growing up. They're like, oh, yeah, Saturday night they had a real bender.
Yeah.
And then Monday they just got their suit back on. They're just going to work.
I know a lot of people like that.
Yeah. I don't have that muscle.
you don't have the, hey, I still got some cocaine left. I'll just put it in my pocket and go to bed.
No. I realize even in my 20s.
If you have cocaine.
If I was at a party and people had cocaine, my mindset was like, you guys can all leave if you want. I'm just going to do cocaine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really, it's not about the party anymore. It's just about how much of this can I do.
And now you've been off for 3 years. Off the meth, at least.
Over 3 years, yeah.
Off the coke?
Yeah, off everything.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't smoke the weed anymore.
Not the seltzer.
I don't. I had half a seltzer. And you know why I had it? Is because I was doing a show at a brewery in Fort Worth.
Was it Martin House?
I think so.
They put it on tap a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they were just selling them, and I'm like, well, that seems.
It's Delta, but it's the same.
Okay,
dude.
okay.
I've
always heard about that.
They had a big event a few months ago or a few weeks ago, and they had taps.
Yeah, they were just selling it, and I was on the show, and I was like, well, and I waited until I was done with the show, but I was like, this seems super legal. They're selling it to, so I just took one, and then when I left, there was a rave going on when I left. Like a rave was exiting. Have you all? Dan, we all missed out. Did you ever do the rave thing?
No, not really.
It's just 21-year-old somethings just stopping traffic in G-strings, like thousands of them. And I guess that's what a rave is?
Yeah.
You're nodding, Blake, as if you know?
My generation started that, I think.
No. Your generation may have popularized it, but people were doing that in the late 90s, right? Yeah, it was definitely when we were in high school, the three of us. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I think some of that, rave culture started in Dallas, MDMA.
Yeah.
Selling it in bars, late 80s, early 90s.
You used to be able to buy it in the bar, Dan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ecstasy.
But from a dealer, it wasn't on tap or something.
No. You could legally buy ecstasy until 1989.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Think of how many children were born from that. So many.
That should have been the new baby boom right there.
The love drug?
Yeah. Although you might have trouble with the in part of creating a baby. You might really be into it.
You want to do it, but
yeah, but then you might have
just no completion.
Maybe. No, the closest I ever got was going to EDM shows.
Oh, okay.
Which are still pretty out there.
I was driving through this crowd and I just thought, what the hell? I really missed out on this. I'm way too old now.
You probably didn't.
Yeah.
You probably didn't. Hey, I was going to talk to you about another local dude that I don't think we talked about this last time. Do you know Ralph Barbosa?
Yeah, of course.
I figured so. Man, that special's so good, and he's so interesting to me because he's almost like the opposite. He's so low energy.
Yeah.
And just the fact that he pulls that off. But I'd never even heard of him until he did that special at the Kessler.
Yeah.
He seems great.
Ralph, I got to work with him. I was there from his day one when he was an open mic comic. I was probably 3 years in, maybe 4 years in, and he was just starting. And then, he got this Don't Tell comedy thing online that blew up. And but I hadn't seen him since he got. When I say he's famous, he couldn't. He's selling out everything. And I hit him up because he was in Fort Worth doing a pop-up show. And I was like, hey, can I come to a spot? And he's like, yeah, come out, hang out. So I go out there, and just to see, whenever the show was over, we were waiting for security to come get us so that they could take us out the back door. And there were people out there waiting for him, just trying to get a picture. It's crazy to have seen him go from what I knew him as when he started to where he's at now.
So that was one of the.
Yeah, no. I could tell you a really crazy story that's all about my drug addiction, but I was in Oklahoma City. There's this older comic who was and this is he was like, hey man, he was the headliner. He goes, I do this jazz festival in San Antonio and HBO's there. And whenever I left that weekend, he goes, I want you to be on it. And I said, okay, but in this business, I drove home not even thinking about it. And then months later,
you've heard promises before.
Of course.
Okay, you've been burned.
Yeah, been burned.
Got excited and
you learn to just not even. I didn't even think about it.
Let's wait and see.
I so didn't think about it. I didn't save his phone number. And 5 months later, I keep getting all these missed calls. And finally, I call a person back, and it's him. And he's like, hey man, we're doing the festival with HBO. We're gonna fly you out here. You're guaranteed a spot.
Whoa.
And I was excited. I remember I called my wife at the time. I was very stoked. And then he came to town and he was doing auditions. And I texted him being like, hey, you already said I was guaranteed. Should I come do an audition? He goes, yeah, just come by and do a spot. Well, of course, I'd been doing drugs. And so I show up at the time and I do a spot. I thought it went well. But, of course, my accuracy for those things at the time was probably off. And then I never hear from him again. Oh. And then Ralph got the spot. And then then he's on HBO. Then this leads to Don't Tell Comedy. Now he's got a special on Netflix. But it never really crosses my mind.
It's like my Jesse Hawley conversation.
Yeah, but it never really crosses my mind.
But I wonder, though, I guess the reason I bring him up is just how, do you have an agent?
No.
Okay, see, that's what I wonder.
But through that HBO thing, that's where he got the agent, and this led to this led to that. But I honestly mean it when I don't think about it, because I wasn't clean at the time. I wasn't, even though I think my skill level was there, I wasn't mature enough to handle the next step. And Ralph is much younger than me, but he's got a great head on his shoulders. He was writing. He was doing everything right. He got the opportunity. He made the most of it.
But as far as booking stuff like these random, whether it's the festival or whatever that thing you said was online that he did, how does, you just have to field all that yourself right now while doing the day job?
Mm-hmm.
That seems like a beating. I guess it's kind of what we're doing, but...
Yeah, no, I'm in El Paso doing, 6 or 7 shows for 4 days, and during the day I'm in the hotel room trying to sell insurance. You know, and the other comics are like, hey, we're going to go to this thing or this thing. And I'm like, I'm a dad. I got to put on my headset and sit here and make 300 phone calls.
Now, I know in one of your specials you were talking about how you were driving Uber, right?
Yeah. Luckily, I'm out of that now. I've made it that far. I'm out of the Uber thing.
But would you do jokes?
No, but after the show, he decided to let's Uber some after the show, and then he actually picked up someone who was at his show.
yeah, and it was a long drive.
A bit emasculating.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, they paid you twice.
Yeah, and they're like, have you heard of this Ralph guy? And I'm like, oh, yeah, he's great. Good friend.
Were you quiet Uber driver?
Yeah. I'm quiet typically.
Yeah.
I think in most situations.
You're an observer.
Yeah.
You're remembering things for when you get up on stage.
Try to be.
We've probably talked to you about this before, but it doesn't happen to us that much. But a lot of comedians or like people who talk or create verbally for a living, people think they talk like that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So how often do you get to like be funny?
I think
this is my friend Lawrence. He's hilarious. Dude,
he's a
meet
comedian.
him. Yeah, check him out.
Oh no,
never.
I feel like it's hard for me to find that channel when I'm around people I don't know.
Well, I'm not saying you do it. I'm saying, does anybody ever expect you to or think like, hey, this guy's he's a comedian?
If you introduce someone as he's a comedian,
yeah,
then that's right away. Now the bar is a little bit too high.
Oh, I will lie. I will do anything just to get out of saying that's what I do for a living whenever I'm around people I don't know.
Us too.
100%. Yeah.
You don't want to tell somebody you do a podcast when you're almost 40.
Yeah. Do you get recognized much, Jake?
Depends on where I am.
Yeah.
I
don't have such a huge fan base.
I don't go out much anymore, but
especially Dan.
A couple weeks ago, we went to.
Thank you for knowing that.
Yeah, a couple of our buddies are in some bands around here, and it was in Fort Worth. And I came back and I told these two guys if all we needed was just an army of people that listen to Quaker City Nighthawks and anything Jordan Richardson does, we would be millionaires because every single person in that crowd listens to the show. And it was probably 200 people.
So we just need their crowd, their fans to get bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we'd have more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The short answer is yes, Lawrence. I can recognize
it. Feels cool.
It does,
we act like
unless your wife is
cool.
with you.
Oh, yeah?
Sometimes they're just kind of like, all right, dude, you think you're cool?
Yeah, they will not.
They immediately will cut you back down to size of like, yeah, well, you ain't shit.
Yeah. It's always cool if you have a friend visiting from out of town or something.
Yeah.
And you get recognized. It's like, oh.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's like once. Anyway, mind if I read a few viewer mails?
Go for it.
Let's do it.
This is viewer mail time.
TK's this weekend.
Please.
TK's Comedy. TKScomedy.com.
Tell Lawrence you heard about him on. No, we don't need you to do that. Let's see. My husband, Chris Hughes, his friends call him Moses.
Okay.
Wants a birthday shout out. His birthday is July 3rd. We call it his Dirk birthday because he's 41. That's from Jennifer.
But they're just silly. That's what we do.
Funning around.
And actually, a concerned listener named Chris Hughes emailed this morning. Now, Jennifer actually reached out a while ago, like last week sometime. But Chris Hughes emailed as well. He said he wanted to make sure he got his bits in because Danny is his leader. And he says, the only interesting thing about me is in January of 2023, I had emergency brain surgery following a complication from heart surgery the prior month.
Oh, God. You tear your ACL on the way in there, too? Or what else could go wrong?
I think there's a message in there somewhere.
Yeah, before he's 41.
Oof.
Well, I guess you're alive now.
I guess it went okay.
Yeah, I guess he's fine.
Yeah.
He was able to type an email.
Got a wife and stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only version of romance we experience is someone emails Dan and says, it's my husband's birthday.
Yeah, that is pretty romantic, though. That is taking the extra step.
Yeah.
Uncle Hotmail, it is the Dylan Raiola birthday for my daughter, McKinley.
The Oregon Ole Miss quarterback?
Well, look it up.
Are you thinking about Jeremiah Masoli?
Maybe.
She's been in dance for over 10 years, and the dance moms whooping and hollering in the crowd are the worst part about the shows and recitals.
Oh, God.
Did they do that?
Oh, yeah. At the end. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Or during, yeah. Like when they take the stage, there'll be somebody who's like, kill it, Shaden!
What an absolute beating.
Shaden?
Yeah. Whatever.
You've heard the name Shaden?
Oh, that's
definitely.
light work.
More Blake's Book Club, more Kemp Spins, and more of the hot-sounding intern from Jamie in Denver. I've got, I wish my wife a happy birthday for Friday, so we're not doing a show Friday. And that's why I'm going to read these now. In fact, we will next be with you on Monday, unless your name is Blake. Blake's going to do a weekly wrap-up.
Yep, I'll be with you Saturday.
Dylan Raiola hasn't even played in college yet.
Anyway, my wife's birthday.
High school kid?
He's a freshman this fall.
Oh, but he's gonna be good?
Just
Okay.
move on.
All
This is
right.
annoying.
Okay.
It's her Ezekiel Elliott times the square root of Brett Favre's jersey birthday.
Which Ezekiel Elliott?
So it's 42?
Oh, man.
More Dan, I would love to have the first 90% of a cigarette with Jake and let him finish the last 10%.
Ooh.
Keep it 100. So, I have his email address. It kind of said Mr. Barger, but there was no name. He didn't give his wife's name or his name. So if you're a lady whose birthday is Friday.
That sounds like a teacher in a teen movie.
So the reason, Lawrence, that he's bringing up that he'd like to have the first 90% of a cigarette with Jake, let him finish the last 10%, because you're, what's his name, Jimmy
Nelson.
Jimmy Nelson. Do you know one of his bits is...
I know more of them than I'd care to, yeah.
Would you rather...
Oh.
Do you know the 90%, 10% bit?
Was it like rather sleep with, or what was it?
Would you rather give 90% of the blowjob, like the first 90% of a blowjob, right?
Yeah.
Or the last 10%?
Okay. Do you want to put in the work, or do you want to just get there for the end? Yeah.
Like if you had to choose,
Jimmy,
right now, we're servicing Blake, me and you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Why is this a tandem bike?
Man,
well, somebody's got to go 90. Somebody's got to go 10.
I mean, but
so
how are we ending though?
Well, you're ending.
The point is,
it's ending.
Yeah. Do you want to finish Blake off, or do you want to?
I mean, am I taking it in the mouth? There's so many variables here.
It's either the.
Yeah, bro.
It ends with the bang. Baby.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I guess give me the top 90%.
I think that's what I chose.
He's gay. He was gay. Second he walked in here, I'm like, this guy.
I was trying to hide
He
it.
wants as much dick as possible.
Jimmy used to have a great bit about only sleeping with post 9/11 pussy, and that was yeah.
He's a firefighter, for God's sakes.
Yeah. Love Jimmy. Love his wife and his dogs.
Father Dan, Saturday is...
Hold on real quick. The cool thing about that is you could kind of lie to him about what it was like. Like, obviously, they have the internet and stuff, but you could be talking to him like, honey, you just don't know what it was like that day, you know? You could just make up, like, this entire lore about what the time around 9/11 was like, because they don't know.
Like you were there?
You could do that.
Like that Steve Resnini guy or whatever his name was?
Yeah,
so
was
on
he,
The League?
The League, that's right.
Yeah, he lied about being in the building at 9/11.
Man, that has got to be one of the worst all-time lies to have to walk back publicly.
It's such an easy thing to not say. You know, like, it's so easy to not say.
He did walk it back publicly, though. He went on Stern and talked about it.
Yeah.
And then he talked about it on the show on Comedy Central.
Yeah, he's like, I was in New York.
It's close, though.
Saturday is Colby Connor's 31st birthday.
Aggie name?
Yeah, 100%, especially the double C.
Jake, Blake, Colby, and I both have 1.5-year-old sons, so more dad talk. How old is Brooks?
2.5.
Carter?
A little over 1.5.
Have they ever mingled?
I don't think so.
Because Brooks is downstairs.
Yeah.
You live right down the street. Let's bring Carter
You
over.
want me to go get him right now?
Yeah.
What's your scene? You have one?
Yeah,
Right?
3-year-old.
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 That's good times.
It is very good times. Great dude. His
3
mom keeps saying I need to be meaner to him, and I'm like, I don't know.
Is he a 3-nager?
Yeah. I'm like, I kind of like just being cool.
A 3-nager?
It's no longer the terrible 2s.
I've never heard that.
They're 3-nagers.
3-nagers?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're little dickheads.
I think it just means they get a personality.
Yeah.
I never thought the 2s were terrible. I thought it was all great, but I had 2 girls.
Ah.
They were both great.
It just depends. I mean, day to day. It's day to day. Mine get along now, though, mostly, so that's cool.
That's good.
She doesn't want to leave him in the street anymore?
She does still say stuff like, yesterday it was, I wish we could take his voice to the dump.
Okay.
She's aware of the dump.
Get rid of it.
I've taught my son to say, I don't have any money. And he really enjoys saying it. And just anytime he asks for anything, I'm like, do you have any money? He goes, I don't have any money. And I'm like, you're right, you don't have any money. Get back in the car.
Know your place.
Yeah.
My leaders are Brunig and her husband and Philip Kingston. I spent a week in Hong Kong with Kingston back at our old law firm.
Nice.
I also went to a Ranger game with Liz Griffin.
Okay.
That's 2 of our top lawyers of our super, dream team.
Dream team.
Sorry. Anyway, this is from Austin, day 1. He claims to be number 4.
Wow.
Ooh. Really?
Subscriber number 4, and he put a screenshot to prove it.
Be a weird thing to Photoshop, so I'm going to have to take him at his word there.
That's his 9/11.
See about that.
He's lying about it.
To the Mark, Tom, and Travis of the podcast world.
I'll take it.
Well, I'll be damned.
My name is Colby Connor. Wait, did we do this guy?
Yeah. Double C, Zaggy name.
Oh, okay. So we already got your buddy told us.
That's romance. That's a dude being a dude for a dude.
Isn't that sweet? Yeah. All right. Then we also have my XXX birthday. He says that's 30 in Roman numerals. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Got it.
Let's see. While this birthday viewer mail is being read over the airwaves, I'll be in Mexico on a trip with my wife and likely moosing her.
Interesting. Don't know it.
What's the moose?
I don't either.
If you're not familiar with the moose...
Sounds like we're about
to... Yeah.
It's a sexual act that takes place while performing doggy. The thruster raises his hands and gives himself antlers, similar to the Rangers' celebration of yesteryear. However, with the lady facing forward, she is completely unaware that she's been moosed.
What the hell?
That's awesome.
No, it's not.
It's a classic and personal favorite I like to whip out on special occasions. Feel free to add it to your own bedroom arsenal.
What? You're just doing this?
Just doing this, yeah.
Do you consider yourself to have a bedroom arsenal?
Yeah, I was about to say, arsenal is such an aggressive word for what most men are doing. Yeah.
No.
Like, there's like 2 or 3 things, and that's about it.
Yeah, I might as well be like a medieval knight. I got one sword. It's pretty much my only move. I'm definitely not putting my hands above my head, pretending to be.
Yeah.
Who is that for?
Who is that for? This is for the boys. You know, my number 1 move is I stay thankful.
Yes.
You know, just stay very thankful.
Yes.
You know.
Mine is I communicate.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's Douglas Waterbottom.
Okay.
Lieutenant Dan.
You're a wild boy, Doug.
July 4th is my Nick Van Exel birthday, which is pretty cool because 3 + 1 = 4. A numbers man like yourself can appreciate that.
This is a bit Lawrence that people started that he's let get way out of control.
I like to see a bit run off the rails.
I just...
Come to the right place.
Organically, things happen. I don't control anything. My leaders are the Hop To It girl. You're familiar with the Hop To It girl?
Yeah, I'm going to be opening for her next year, I'm sure.
Yeah.
She's really catching on fire here. Everybody loves it, you know.
Blake said the Kids Bop version is Hop To It girl.
Hop To It. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good shit, Blake.
Thank you.
That's very good.
His leaders are the Hop To It girl and Jake and Blake's general disdain for Dude Perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those guys played pickup basketball at a DFW area rec center I frequented in high school around 2011-ish.
They were the coolest guys in the world.
They were the absolute worst.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
They called every foul.
Yeah, I bet they did.
They ran clearly practiced plays.
Oh, my gosh.
They thought they owned the place, etc.
That all checks out.
So just imagine what it would be like to play pickup basketball against those guys, and whatever you're thinking would be accurate.
Yeah.
From Jake, day 2, number 1524.
So they got basketball stereotypes from themselves.
Yeah. They're all probably wearing matching Nike neon.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't.
2
I
more.
would have been out there like freaking Lambeer, just head hunting.
2 more. These are non-birthday emails now. Guy went to, he says, the subject line is, did the Kansas City Chiefs retire Jackie Robinson's number? I think it's a bad bit that Major League Baseball retired Jackie Robinson's number in every ballpark. Because I think it was just hey, look at what we're doing.
Yeah. Totally not racist.
We're not racist.
Yeah.
We don't have racist hiring practices because we did this.
And once they did that, that fixed all racism in baseball.
For sure. Right. No player ever was subjected to that ever again.
Oh, I do love seeing that shit on jerseys in sports where they're like the back of the helmet or the end zone says end racism. Every time I'm like, oh, look,
Dude,
we did it.
Listen, I'll pull some up here, but the peak of that was the bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah?
When the NBA was in the bubble.
Oh, yeah.
And it was in the middle of a major, social unrest. There were some hilarious ones, like education reform was like one of
the name on a jersey.
Yes, it was. Obviously, the basic ones like Black Lives Matter. There was a jersey that said "I can't breathe." Si se puede. That was yes we can. Anti-racist. Just on the back of your jersey, like you're gonna watch the finals when the Lakers won with LeBron with your kid 15 years ago. And you're going to see I am man pass to group economics. You're going to have such a hard time explaining that whole scene.
Yeah. And then there was Marcus Morris with share love on the back of his jersey as he's shit-talking Luka and stepping on his ankle.
Yeah, as he's fighting under the basket.
My jersey would just say moose it.
Moose it.
Moose
it. Moose it, please.
It's going to be a big moose weekend for all of us.
Dude, between Hawk Tua and Moose here, this is going to be erotic.
Big moose weekend.
Try it. I mean, it's pretty much just like, can you have sex? And then are you foolish or silly enough to just do a little fucking cartoon move? I'd probably do that. I'd probably go Kenny Gant.
The shark?
Hit the shark on him. You're going to do it. By the way, Lawrence is vaping, so I'm going to vape too. So people don't. No, you're fine.
I keep mine. Look,
I usually just don't do it.
He is a narc.
Yeah,
no,
what a narc.
No, look, he's vaping.
Yeah,
I hold it in deep.
I'm gonna do it.
Here's the reason I have to do it. Because people think I do it when I'm simply breathing deep, and they're like, I'm tired of hearing you vape. And people are going to be
look
like,
who's
oh,
reading
he's doing
the
it.
Reddit comments.
Yeah.
I thought you told me that.
Online.
I don't know.
So now I'm in.
Yeah. I got accosted by a guy at Starbucks the other day for vaping on the patio.
Oh, the patio?
Yeah, on the patio.
Was he
And then him and his wife surrounded me, and they had like those backpacks on, but like we're at Park and Preston, like those military backpacks on.
Oh my God, CrossFitters probably.
Yeah, I noticed they had pocket knives.
Were they concerned for your health, or was it you can't do that?
You can't do that here. And I was just sitting there reading a book with my headphones on.
Come on.
Yeah, and then he started filming me. And I was like, I told him, just call the cops or something, man. I don't know why you got to be so weird. Serial killer.
Not gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
Dan, I happened to be in Kansas City Monday for work, so I went to watch the U.S. men's national team play Uruguay in the Copa America tournament at Arrowhead. Gay, I know.
I wasn't going to say it, but...
It was my first time there, so I'm taking in the scenery when I noticed their Ring of Honor has a curious name and number, and he sent a picture of the stadium, and they just have different names of Kansas City Chief greats of the past, and here it says 42 J. Robinson. As you know, like, the Miami Heat retired Michael Jordan's number. Like, some teams will just do bits.
The Mavs?
Well, the Mavs did. They jumped on Kobe. When Kobe died, they retired his number. So there is precedent. And I think there might even be an NBA team that retired number 42 for Jackie Robinson, but I can't remember. The point is, he's wondering, is that the case with the Chiefs? Did the Chiefs go full Mark Cuban and add a baseball player to their Ring of Honor? Would like to hear a Dumb Zone Investigates on this topic. No puppet from subby number 55, Cam Smith. So I did the research this morning.
Fantastic.
On this. And it turns out that they had a player who started in 1960. His career went through 1971. Johnny Robinson.
Okay.
Who is...
They're clear.
White. And was drafted as a running back. First 2 years in the league, 458 yards rushing. The next year, 200 yards rushing. So it didn't seem to be going well. He then switched to, it looks like, safety.
Back in the good days, you could do that.
And he ended up being an all-pro 6 years in a row at safety. Pro Bowl 2 years in a row, then he became an all-pro player. So that's huge. So he probably deserves to be in the Ring of Honor.
Okay. Fair enough.
So we have done the research. And finally, from Adrian, he says, I found another Roseanne.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
I might have to find the picture. So
I have a theory that Roseanne, the person, is also an archetype for just a human being's look and affect.
Oh,
like you can be a Roseanne. You can be a man, actually. The first one was I don't know if you know what Travis Tritt looks like, but he was playing at a festival I went to, and I was like, that is a Roseanne right there.
I like this. I like this Roseanne.
It was clear. And then former Reds owner Marge Schott. People you probably don't know what they look like, but it sounds like you know what I'm talking about.
Who was the lesbian that was like the daytime host? Before Ellen.
Ricky Lake.
Ricky Lake
is a
Roseanne.
That's Roseanne 100%.
Super Roseanne, yeah.
Yes. What do we got, Dan?
Okay, I wanted to pull up the picture here. If I can, on my tiny little phone.
You're probably everyone listening.
Ricky Lake looks like she would moose Roseanne. That's what it is. Yeah.
Everyone listening, you have an aunt who's a Roseanne.
Mm-hmm. I've got two.
You can tell by his voice. You can tell his eye.
You say dudes can be Roseanne.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude can be a Roseanne.
Yeah, he says Vince Neil. Do you think Vince Neil?
Yeah, there's some Roseanne there.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Okay.
Keep an eye out.
All right. News?
Yes, sir.
News?
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone News.
The FBI has accused a man of flying a drone over Globe Life Field during a Rangers game.
So what?
So I
don't.
think
Did this drone attack college football?
I don't think so.
What's that mean?
That was an old Mike Reiner bit. Apparently, during the games, they issue a temporary flight restriction, and you are not allowed to fly the drone over it. So they, of course, issued a warrant, and they got the drone's flight data and photos, and look, there it is, Globe Life Field, flying above the stadium.
The gilf.
I think having a drone would be stressful, because there are a lot of rules like this. Like you fly it into a place where you're not allowed to, you fly it at a time or an elevation that you're not allowed to. I don't want anything to do with drones, man. It doesn't seem like they're going anywhere. Because, this is a good opportunity to reintroduce that theory, right? Last year on July 4th, North Richland Hills did the drone show. Begrudgingly, it was badass. I prefer a fireworks show, and they did a little bit of that too. But they had a drone show that was like depicting scenes from American history, like Washington crossing the river, and it was impressive. But it dawned on me that fireworks are basically just an approximation of war artillery. Like, we got to fireworks based on the idea that, like, we used to blow shit up, and people were like, what if we did that without killing people? It's the same thing with drones. Drones were initially used to just wipe out, ideally specific targets, but in practice, villages.
Yeah.
And then people were like, what if we made them form a longhorn in the sky?
Yeah.
So whatever the next thing is, just know that it'll be coming to a July 4th near you.
So, Paul, you knew Jake in high school. You were both on the football team.
Yes.
And he was a badass, would do anything.
You've overstated that tremendously, and now I have people I went to high school here with, and
he was a complete badass.
He was a kick-ass badass who would do anything. Would high school Jake have been worried about? I don't want a drone because I would have to worry about the rules and regulations.
Leather jacket, Jake?
Yeah.
I did not have.
Oh, interesting.
Dude, a leather jacket?
The guy who's putting his nutsack on people's faces to haze them.
No, that nutsack was squarely on my face. He remembers birthdays.
Birthday's no good. You sit up right into a ball bag there. Nobody likes that.
Yeah. He's been
What does that
I'm
mean?
sure he's been birthdayed.
You know, I
before.
think I got away never being birthdayed.
You were bigger than I was.
Yeah. I witnessed many birthdays.
Hold on a second. What happened?
It's in the locker room.
Yeah.
It's in the locker room. Okay. All right.
One person holds you down.
Okay.
It's a sit-up contest? Is that the...
I just remember it being like the nuts were in my face. I can't exactly recall.
I remember someone stands over you.
Yeah.
Then you're meant to do a sit-up, and when you do, ball bag.
Yeah.
All right. And was it 90% or
Feels like it would
10%?
hurt. Yeah, it would hurt the balls.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like anything grazes that.
It was just...
Why are all hazing things
emasculating.
gay?
Right?
Yeah. Like, extremely. Not even kind of like, hey, you're cute. You have beautiful eyes, Lawrence.
Yeah,
no
exactly.
romance
involved.
No
There was
romance at all.
And
Yeah.
there would be people clapping and cheering and chanting around you.
This is a nightmare.
Yeah,
this
it was
is
not.
terrible.
It was not uncommon. I think I got it twice.
I've been to jail a bunch. This doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like
You
they
know
would
what I mean? Like-
drag ninth graders into a varsity locker room
to
and
let them watch.
a full-grown adult would then put his ball bag in your face.
There might be a coach very aware of what was happening.
God, this just turned into a documentary.
Not concerned.
Yeah, just sex crimes, pretty much. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, so all this bonding really helped lead to that 1-12 record, or what?
I think we went 2-8 senior year.
Okay.
But yeah, sure. I just want to be clear. That's all true. The leather jacket thing is not.
I love that. I love that.
Not happening.
My memory's a little different.
God, that
What's
reminds
the
me.
leather jacket?
Popped collar.
No,
leather
he's
jacket.
you're such.
There was no leather jacket. There was a Letterman's jacket.
Yeah, you know what happened to that?
Oh.
I gave it to Matt Birmingham as a White Elephant Day gift in a Trumpy Bear that I received. I put the leather jacket on the Trumpy Bear, and then he got in a car accident, totaled the car, jacket gone, along with Trumpy Bear.
It was
Had
stuck
bad
in the
vibes.
trunk. Yeah.
The leather jacket. It just reminds me of, like, remember the Teen Wolf, Michael J. Fox?
Of course.
Remember he, like, pulls his best friend into the garage to tell him his big secret? And he's like, I'm a werewolf. And the guy's like, oh, God, I thought you were going to say you were gay. Like, that's like, it's
a different era.
What a relief.
Yeah, what a relief. Yo, you're just a
sniffed
werewolf.
out that bag of pop.
Yeah. I got teabagged, but there was no leather jacket.
Yeah.
That would have been. Yeah.
I won't admit to that.
Yeah.
I don't think high school would have Jake would have gave a shit about the rules about the drone.
To get back to the original
Right.
point.
Way to circle back.
Yeah, solid. Hey, remind me, have we talked about the Selena memorabilia guy? I've had this story on my stack for a couple days, and I didn't think I did it. So, there's a guy in Corpus Christi who is obsessed with Selena, and he is on a mission. Somehow, this is a record that is there to be broken, to set a Guinness World Record for the largest collection of Selena memorabilia. And he put this on display last Saturday at the Lake Jackson Historical Association. He has 1,300 items. Now, in general, doesn't really matter what the obsession is. I'm creeped out by it. Like, big cowboy fan. When I see a guy who has, like, the cowboy room and it's got a little adjacent cowboy bathroom, I think that's weird. I think it's really weird.
Corpus is such a shithole. I mean, I could see it happening out there.
You might have to play there, you know?
No, I have, and I told him that.
I mean, in the future, you should just like, thanks for booking me. This is a shithole.
Yeah, I know. I told you, this place is a beach town the way Long John's is fucking seafood. Like, just save your money and take a real vacation. It was like purgatory for dads that don't pay child support.
My dad lives there. And
yeah,
he loves
exactly.
it.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. He looks like someone that does. You know, it's like it's got a Whataburger with a Selena statue. It is.
It does have that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Probably the nicest restaurant in the whole city.
I think I've actually seen pictures. It's like really modern and cool looking, right? No?
Yeah, no, it's cool enough where you realize this is a bad city.
Yeah.
They just got oil burning in the distance. You know what I mean? Just broken glass up and down the beaches. It is. It's a rough place.
So this guy's not that old. Let's see. He looks to me to be like he's in his early 30s, and he has 1,300 pieces of memorabilia. Selena dolls, perfumes, creepy, boutique items, and much more. So they had like this big event. Said his grandmother, who passed away, inspired him to start the collection because she was a passionate collector of Elvis memorabilia.
The woman that shot Selena was a big fan too, wasn't she?
She's president of the fan club.
Yeah,
Huge fan.
Huge fan. Yeah.
I have
We
a note
missed
on
you,
her.
but the bullets didn't.
Go ahead.
Should I get my note on her?
On which one?
The woman who shot Selena?
Go ahead.
That's the first thing I think about.
Are you allowed to?
I don't know.
Then probably don't then. I forgot what note you had until now I'm considering it, and maybe we huddle together and see if we can get back on this one.
All right, I'll hold that.
Okay.
Boy, remember Jake?
Dude, every turn.
He used to wear a leather jacket, not give a shit about anything.
I know a guy who is connected to the killer of Selena somehow.
That's okay. I'll take the ball.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
Fine.
And you know what? I will attempt to reach out to him.
Did you guys remember Dan when you played golf on acid? You know?
Took shrooms and went to ride roller coasters.
Telling pedo jokes at the compound. Now he's like, I'll just stop there.
Let me check with my guy.
You want me to tell it?
All right, so anyways. Are you guys with me on anybody who collects, like, to that degree is just weird? Just,
Yeah.
I don't... I've never met anybody like that, so I don't know if I would maintain a friendship or ever have one.
I think a friend of mine's mom growing up was really big into collecting Beanie Babies. Like, had a whole wall of them.
That might have been a hustle, though.
Was it for the cost? A lot of people thought, these are going to be worth a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I don't remember at the time. I just remember it being really weird having an entire wall of Beanie Babies.
That was a non-working wife-mom side hustle. That was basically like, not Etsy. What was the candle thing they all tried to get us into? Scentsy. It was, everyone knew.
I disagree with a lot of men's hobbies. Like, we got grown men knocking children down to get Lego sets, and nobody seems bothered by it.
Yeah.
You know, just a grown man with a full beard just building Legos. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's even, the foul ball, like the guy at the game who's going to push a kid down. That's no good.
The old guy in the autograph line.
You've been going to games for 30 years.
It's your turn.
You've never had a foul ball yet. This kid, I've never really liked the crowd chanting that you have to give it to a kid.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Because, I've been going forever, and I've never come close to a foul ball. If I get one, and then the crowd chants to give it to this 3-year-old who has no idea what's going on. And then, even as a kid, as a teenager or something, when I'd go to the games, I thought that'd be a cheap way to get one.
You want to earn it because nothing is given anywhere in Ohio.
Right, in Northeast Ohio.
Yeah.
Fuck that little kid.
Yeah, right? That's my personality, too. Like, if I caught it and I would give it to the kid, but if everybody started yelling at me, I'd be like, I'm keeping this. I'll fight everybody all my way out,
Yeah, how great would that be?
Yeah. I'm gonna make SportsCenter, finally.
This is a story I'm surprised you don't see more of. 2 18-year-olds pled guilty to robbing USPS workers all over DFW.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of a sitting target, right?
Yeah, that's a real crapshoot on.
Yeah, you don't know what's in there.
You're just taking other people's bills.
Yeah. How many people are getting anything real valuable in the mail?
I imagine they're stealing packages.
You go for the loot, the vault.
You end up with a crocheted blanket.
Yeah. Just a bunch of stuff from Etsy.
How do Amazon trucks not get hit more?
They have to be equipped
with turret machine guns.
Well, at least with cameras and stuff, don't you think?
Well, yeah. I mean, these people are on camera, but they're
they don't care.
No, they're just obscured their face. They look like Heart Attack Man from yesterday. But yeah, 18 years old, little team, 8 robberies in 4 months.
You know what? Again, now having a kid that's a teenager, I applaud that kid for
a little initiative.
Yeah, my kid was just sitting around watching YouTube. She's not out there trying to earn.
I don't think it matters. I wouldn't want to get robbed like in my USPS uniform. Like you're already, like you're already in kind of a weakened position. Those little short shorts and the. It's so hot outside.
Oh my God! And those trucks are not air conditioned.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, it's miserable.
That's actually interesting though, because as trends change, the USPS shorts and even the UPS shorts have stayed the same. And for a long time, everybody was like, look at those homos.
Yeah.
And now, like, it's, the 7 inches, maybe even 5 is in style.
Yeah.
Right?
Standard issue.
Little thighs out. So now they're like, well, I've been here the whole time. Culture.
Can you take a cop seriously who has shorts?
No.
Like
Not
the
at
bike cop or something around Ranger game?
Like, do you have to do something stupid to end up being the bike cop? Like, they obviously had bigger aspirations.
Like
They have to make fun of him at the precinct or whatever.
Like
Right?
when they put Jimmy on the boat.
Like, don't give me the bike cop today.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you fucked up again.
Jake,
Back
you're on the
bike duty.
Segway.
Oh, the Segway cop? That seems like a punishment as well.
Yeah, it's tough.
What about the horse cop?
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, that
that's
seems
good?
cooler. That seems cooler.
Yeah, a horse could kill you.
Yeah.
You're never going to get anywhere, though.
And it's shitting
Like, can
everywhere.
you ever see a horse cop, like, chase a criminal down on the horse? Like, he's whipping it. And he's,
Love to.
And how come the horse cop isn't tiny, like a jockey?
That is a great point. That is a very valid point.
They just have to start recruiting 4.5-foot cops.
Yeah. All little squeaky voice guys.
I do love that. I just love the whole concept.
This is an interesting one. A Little League team here in North Texas, this is from Fossil Ridge, not too far from where we grew up, has been removed from the Little League of World Series tournament. By the way, you're about to get beaten
steroids?
down with that. Yes. No, not steroids, pedophilia.
Oh.
No, it's not pedophilia.
Oh.
The coach says in comments to NBC here locally that they're too good. Like that they never lost, and so other parents around the region and around the country didn't want them in, so they started trying to find little loopholes of, hey, is this guy's residency actually good? How long have these kids been playing together? Stuff that probably they all do and nobody cares about. But
well, of course the coach is going to say this.
Yeah, but the NBC comment asked whatever commission Little League International, and they didn't give that much detail either. They just said we reviewed the information and discussed it with the league. And
I think I read someone accused them of being like a travel team that wouldn't normally qualify.
Yeah,
and then they started like a Little League team basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's probably true, but
you're
probably right too. There's probably a lot of teams doing that.
Exactly, but if you go 50-0,
yeah,
then other teams around are like, hey, how'd you get that
get yourself
kid?
a beam.
How'd you get that kid?
That's your fault.
And it's also funny too that the guy
don't cheat on the test and get an A.
The guy says basically he says that they had the water bills, which is like not that hard to do. I would imagine like you could just say, hey, he stays with them.
Resident. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the Brett Shipp story where he like drove to Oklahoma because Southlake had a quarterback that was here? Mm-hmm. And he immediately supplanted the kid that had been waiting to play quarterback. And what do you think those kids' parents did? They called Brett Shipp.
Right.
And the kid had moved from Oklahoma.
His mom didn't live here.
Didn't really live here. But Brett Shipp is like standing in front of his house in Oklahoma trying to knock on the door and talk to the parents
Brett
up there.
Shipp's awesome. We got to get him on.
Yeah, I'd love to talk Dion with Brett Shipp. That was such a wild scene, man. Brett Shipp and Prime Prep.
I feel bad. We turned him down when we were getting sued.
There's a lot going on, dude.
I know, but I like Brett Shipp.
I do too. A woman, this is our last one, was charged with
You know
murder.
what? I want to do that with your residents too. To be able to join Grapevine Rec.
Done.
Like, would I be able to say I live at your house?
Yeah, we'll craft a narrative where you got divorced.
Oh, yeah, make it a good narrative.
You're staying with me for a little while. You got divorced because she's not romantic.
You've been divorced, right, Lawrence?
Yeah.
Is that sweet or is it upsetting?
Oh, I've had the worst time.
That's not what Dane wanted to hear.
Yeah, it's not been good.
You thought it was a bad
I live
bit.
I live in a rented room. You know.
Now?
Yeah.
Well, that really brought the room down.
Well, yeah, geez. No, I just wanted.
No, you
like,
think it would be like awesome and sweet, but
yeah,
like,
when you got divorced,
how was the kid already born?
He was in the womb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you able to be in the room for the birth?
No, I showed up and they said we cannot prove that she's here.
What?
Yeah, it was a whole thing. It's not fun. Not fun at all.
I did bring the room down.
It'd be
didn't
funny.
I?
It turned dark.
But everything's okay
Quick.
now. She was just texting me. I'm like, hey, I'm busy. She's like, your son's at the Crayola place. And he got in for free. I'm like, I took him 6 months ago, and I paid to get in.
Yeah.
So, but thanks for adding that detail.
All right, well, I'm going to end this with a fun one then. All right. A woman was charged with murder.
Ooh.
After the body of a man was found in a plastic storage container in northwest Fort Worth.
Hot?
You be the judge, America.
Hot? Oh, my
Roseanne vibe.
Yeah.
Very hot.
Yeah.
We got a Zan.
Oh, yeah.
Got a Zan.
Jesus. Wait, she was murdered or she murdered somebody?
She murdered somebody. She's 51 years old. The man was 52.
Whoa. She's 51?
Yeah, so she's younger
That's
than
a lot
Dan.
of years.
Yeah.
Apparently, he stole her Mountain Dew.
Oh, man. She looks like a tire that needs to be changed. It's, that is rough. That is rough. Imagine that being the last thing you see. That's not a loving God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd literally, you would rather be looking at the state official who puts the cocktail in your arm.
Yeah.
On the gurney.
I was thinking about this yesterday. I had a school teacher when I was a kid in Plano, named Miss Wolverton, and she was just real mean. And then one day she just went home and murdered her entire family.
Oh,
yeah. She hated me too. She hated me. Hated me bad. And what's funny, she yelled at me one day, and what's funny, I was thinking about this yesterday, what's funny is she yelled at me one day because, like, I was in this kind of thing where I was in trouble where you weren't allowed to do anything that wasn't exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And I was reading a biography at the time, and I remember she grabbed me by the neck and kicked me out of the classroom because I was like, you're mad at me because I was reading? And what I was reading, this is true, was Jim Morrison's Nobody Here Gets Out Alive.
And she's like, good idea.
Maybe she just saw the cover or something. I don't know.
Wow, yeah, here it is.
Yeah, Miss Wolverton, Plano.
Yeah.
That was my teacher. Senior year. Science.
How's she looking there, Jake?
Oh, dude.
She's not, there's no image in this photo.
Real rough. Real rough.
Man, yeah, I guess a gun I couldn't beat.
What are you saying? What were you about to say?
Well, when I see this story that this guy, he's 52-year-old guy was killed by this 51-year-old woman and put in a storage container. I mean, it's got to be a gun because otherwise this woman is not killing me.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
Those guns give you big muscles.
Yeah, and apparently that's what Miss Wolverton used because there was a handgun found next to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took everybody out.
Yeah. Looks like there was a 19-year-old a
hot.
How did you manage to get the room back by telling us about a family murder suicide?
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I thought about it yesterday. I think the Jim Morrison thing's a pretty good detail. I remembered it vividly.
Oh man, did they? I love the thing they do now. This is 2003, so they probably didn't do this, but now what they do is like they say counseling services will be on site for students who need.
Oh, they didn't do shit for us. They didn't do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, but if there's a bomb threat made now. You know how fast all three of us would have taken. I'm feeling some trauma.
I feel like for us, we came into school the next day and they're like, you know how she was, and then everybody just got back to work. So we had a substitute teacher, you know what I mean, who was clearly nicer. What a low bar.
She didn't killed anybody.
Yeah.
All right, there's your news.
The Dumb Zone News. Like and subscribe.
The Dumb Zone presents Today in History.
Oh, you know what? I screwed up.
What do you got?
I'm going to play you one thing real quick, okay?
Sure.
Because we're about to leave, and then I won't remember this on Monday. I should have put this in news. It's a little bit old, but Jameson sent it to me. So, you're on the Trump Logan Paul podcast, right? Not like a guest, but you're going to listen to it? Maybe?
Maybe. Yeah, possibly. I think I'd rather listen to that than the Dr. Phil interview.
Okay, he was also on this podcast called All In. Are you familiar? You're probably... Okay.
I know what All In is.
It's like a UFC adjacent thing.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, and he's been on there before. I thought this was really funny. So they asked him about the border wall. Like I said, this has been like a week, 10 days ago, and this made me laugh.
Yes, so we built hundreds of miles of wall, David, as you know, and we're very proud of it. We did it as per specification by the Border Patrol. They wanted exactly the wall that we did with the climb paddle on top, with steel, concrete, and then rebar, and all of the things. And they wanted to have vision through it, clearly through it. And because I thought about concrete plank, frankly, going up 40 or 50 feet, and they didn't like that. They wanted to have vision through, and I understood that too. I sort of disagreed with it, but that's okay. We actually brought climbers in, Mount Everest climbers to climb, and we built a very hard wall to climb. It's a very effective wall.
Do you think that's true?
Like they brought a Sherpa
They
in?
brought a Sherpa. They flew in four of the boys from Nepal, and they're like, go at it. And Trump's just standing there watching them.
Didn't that one blind guy climb Everest?
Did that happen?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, maybe it was him.
I don't know. It just was hilarious to me. He's like, yeah, I got the best of the best.
Like, yeah, not just we got people to try climbing.
Yeah.
I would get...
So stupid.
I would have got these guys that trimmed our trees a couple years ago because they came out here no ladders.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And just were scurrying up and we're like, holy shit, what is going on here? It was like 4 guys.
Yeah, the people that we used
and
to
they were
have
just climbing up the
do
trees.
ours had the very uncomfortable company name of Tree Monkeys.
Ugh.
That's what you would say.
But
yeah,
honestly, when you
like.
see them attack the tree, you're like, it's a tree monkey.
God, Trump just talks like somebody on cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
It is
all the
just
time.
a machine gun.
All the time.
So what's the opposite of cocaine? Because that would be Biden then.
Yeah,
right?
heroin. He's just in a
Heroines
cage.
are just
we have
pill.
two drug-addled candidates here.
Yeah.
Which must make it tough for you to know who to vote for. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I'm
it's
a
uppers or downers.
drug
you know?
guy. Let's see. On this day in so it's Wednesday, July 3rd. I've stated that. On this day in 1965. Okay, that's not that interesting. Well, I'll say it's at Kansas City A's pitcher Diego Segui. They had a big bit. Farmers' Night festivities. Diego Segui rode a mule up to the mound to start the game. There was a milking contest between Ken Harrelson and another player on Minnesota, and a greased pig competition after the game.
God, old baseball bits were great. Burn the disco night, 10-cent beer night, farmer night.
So the idea of it's the 9th inning and you're just rubbing your hands like, God, I can't wait till this grease pig thing gets started. It's been such a long game. Such a long game.
On this day in 1964, Natural Bridge Caverns opened to the public. No?
Is that Carlsbad?
It says it is midway between New Braunfels and San Antonio.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know that's what it was
It's the
called.
largest known cave in Texas.
I didn't know that's what it was called, but I've been in there. I hate caves, but I've been to a couple of them. Parents thought it was cool.
And on this day in 2016, Brittany Griner had the 6th regular season triple-double in WNBA history.
10, 10, and 10.
27 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 blocks.
Oh, okay.
So that was the 6th. Tell us the other 5.
Shut up. We're not doing this bit for this. This is not.
Okay.
No.
All right.
We're not doing it for the WNBA.
Can you name 5 other WNBA players of all time?
Cameron Brink.
Hit it.
Angel Reese.
What'd you say?
Angel Reese.
Yeah, okay, so we just go current.
Yeah,
Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese,
Cheryl Swoops,
Cameron Brink, Diana Taurasi, Cheryl Swoops. So we could keep going if you want, but I mean, that's 5 right there.
That's all I asked for.
Nailed it.
Birthdays today, former Ranger Edinson Volquez is 41.
DVD.
Traded for Josh Hamilton?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
he
he
was in
actually was pretty good, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he came back, right? No. The other one came back. Nefty. The other closer.
I feel like he did come back.
Did he?
For a spell. But I'm not going to... There's no way to find out.
None of us are going to lean forward to this computer.
No, it's not. Don't really care.
Not worth it.
Jim Bob Cooter is 40.
Jake.
You know who that is, Lawrence?
Nope.
So Jim Bob Cooter was an offensive coordinator. He might still be.
Oh, I have an uncle named Jim Bob.
He was the Colts.
Lions at one point, too, right?
That sounds right.
You think a lot of people named Rosales have uncles named Jim Bob?
No, they don't. And he left me a voicemail one time and he spelled it. He goes, hey, this is Jim Bob, Jimbob. I'm like, yeah, fucking know, dude.
But we always used to just wonder, could a man, even if he was the sharpest mind in football, could you ever hire Jim Bob Cooter to be your head coach? I don't think you could.
I mean, I tend to agree with you.
It would just be hard to be named a Jim Bob Cooter.
I'm really excited to announce the tenure
Plus,
of Coach Cooter.
The fact that he wears overalls with no shirt under
Yeah,
it.
no, that doesn't help either. He is the Colts' current offensive coordinator, and he also once, when he was a grad assistant, drunkenly crawled into the window of a woman and got in bed with her when he didn't know where he was. That's on the list already, though, Blake.
Classic Cooter.
Classic Cooter.
Actor Kurtwood Smith is 81.
Don't know it.
Too old.
You do. He's the old guy in RoboCop.
Ah.
That said,
okay.
bitches leave.
That guy's awesome.
Yeah.
He's also in that 70s show.
Harrison Schmidt is 89. It's sad that you don't know who he is because he walked on the moon.
All right.
How many people have walked on the moon?
There's a lot, actually.
Or none.
Ooh, possibly none.
Possibly none.
Let's see. Montel Williams is 68. I bring him up because something on Today and Twitter.
It was a Kamala
It
related.
was trying to tell me that he was banging Kamala Harris at one point. Is that true?
I don't know if it's
like
true.
Like that Kamala was his side piece? Or is it just that there was once a picture of them together?
I think it's just that there was once a picture, but that's not going to stop people.
Tom Cruise is 62.
Oh, okay, it does say he briefly dated her.
Okay.
There you go.
It is funny, too, like the photo that you saw, it's from, what's his scene as an MS? He has like a foundation.
Oh, I don't know. I think I messed up Michael J. Fox the other day, so I'm not going to speculate.
Oh, look who's looking at the comments. He has MS, and the photo, they're like at an MS event, and it's really weird to see the vice president in a going out dress gown. The pup's kind of hanging out a little bit. She's an attractive woman.
Right? I think so.
I'd let her put me in jail for a very small amount of pot anytime.
Would you moose her?
That's not patriotic.
I can already sense that this is going to become part of our...
I'd moose the shit out of her, by the way.
Yeah, I got to do some moosing or else I'll forget it by Monday.
Yeah. But if you do it once, you're going to remember it forever.
I learned from doing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeardley Smith is 60.
She's a legend.
The voice of Lisa Simpson.
Once altered history in the guest booking league.
Julian Assange is 53.
Interesting. Interesting fellow. Possibly a traitor.
Faye Resnick is 67. She was a friend of Nicole Brown Simpson. Big part of the trial. I don't know if she was a big part of the trial.
Brentwood Hello?
Was it the Brentwood Hello?
Might have been.
Olivia Munn is 44.
Delicious.
Take it easy.
Okay. Sorry. Big fan.
Singer Elle King is 35.
Rob Schneider's daughter.
It's weird knowledge to have.
It's weird that that's the case.
Was she X's and O's?
I think so,
that
yeah.
Song?
Oh, yeah.
Good tune.
Yeah, she's got some good songs.
Rob Schneider's daughter.
I think she's had a
But
meltdown.
she wanted to be herself, and so she's Elle King.
She did have a meltdown?
She had a meltdown at the Grand Ole Opry, and all of country music was pissed at her.
Oh, shit, I saw that.
Yeah.
She was hammered.
Yeah, she was
we played
hammered
that audio.
and cussed, and apparently that's like a no-no on the Opry stage.
We played that. Yeah, she was
Mr.
like
Rob Schneider's
blackout.
daughter?
Yeah.
Y'all remember Aerosmith's Steven Tyler's daughter being in that stripping music video for his song?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
God, I think about that sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And actor Benedict Wong is 53.
Do you remember when her husband had to be a part of a group of roughnecks that had to go to space because there was a meteor that was headed towards Earth and it was going to destroy the entire thing?
Yeah.
And then her father, who hated him, they draw straws at the end to see who's going to have to stay up there because someone's going to have to stay to detonate the nuke. That's the only way they can separate the meteor into two parts that are going to fly directly over the North Pole and then directly, over the South Pole. And she's back at NASA crying because it's a very emotional moment. She knows she's going to lose one of them, either her lover or her father. And her father takes one for the team, allowing her lover to come home, AJ. And it's a nice embrace, but they all have to realize that, he he did it for the good of humanity.
Yeah.
That's what I remember about her.
How could we forget?
You know, I don't want to miss a thing.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Benedict Wong is in the Three Body Problem, which you guys I don't think have watched.
No, but he's been in some. Is that B.D. Wong?
No.
Okay. Sorry.
That's racist for you to even
No,
think that.
there's a B and a D. Come on.
You are not white on that one.
Correct. I love that. Mighty white of you.
No, I just meant you were Wong.
Jeez, man. He's on a heater.
Born on this day, now dead, Jethro Pugh, cowboy great, and Laura Branigan. She sang the song Gloria, which got picked up by the St. Louis Blues as their kind of anthem. She died in 2004. Years after her death, sources investigated her reported birth year of 1957 and found out she was actually born in 1952. She had shaved 5 years off her birth year to appear younger to her fans.
What are you, a Latin shortstop?
How about that?
That's so weird.
Yeah. Then died on this day, still dead. We have Jim Morrison, who died in a bathtub.
Yep.
So if that was you, Jake, I was thinking about this morning, I would be able to say he died doing what he loved.
Love a bath.
Because you will take a bath even in a hotel on the road, right?
More likely so.
Which is really weird.
I like a bath, too. The book, you know.
Would you go road hotel bath? Feels like a lot of what's been in there.
How do you guys feel about this? I was talking about this on the radio in El Paso this week. Do you guys drink the water in the shower?
No.
What do you mean, just like hold your mouth up there?
Yeah, I mean, it's just coming right at you, you know?
No, I will brush teeth in the shower.
Yeah.
Okay, then what's wrong with drinking the water? You know,
Well, it's
everyone's
hot,
talking about getting
usually.
hydrated.
It's usually hot. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
I don't know. I drink a little shower water in the morning to start my day.
Yeah, I don't. No.
I used to do that as a kid, but then my grandpa would say, "Don't drink that nasty old city water."
Yeah,
I mean, if it's good enough to bathe in it.
City water.
Why are you in the shower with your grandpa?
When I was a kid.
Get back over here.
Also died.
I do love the idea of your grandpa standing behind you in the shower correcting your behavior.
So Jim Morrison died on this day at the age of 27 in a bathtub. Also died in water on this day at the age of 27. Brian Jones from the Rolling Stones. Apparently he died in a pool.
Like by his own hand?
I don't know. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, did he like do a sick dive and hit his head?
I don't know. Maybe.
Or was he like
just backflip off the roof? Yeah.
Or was he strung
I'm just
out?
going to guess heroin or something.
Yeah, something. But
it had to do with the pool.
You can't rule out that, it's a jackknife that went wrong.
Yeah. And died on this day in 2012. We have Andy Griffith, who I think Blake is learning about. Or
Great
you just
show.
never seen the Andy Griffith show, right?
I think I've seen the show open or something.
Yeah.
They whistle.
You're a fan, Lawrence?
Oh, yeah.
I watched it a lot with my dad growing up, but I can't say that I have great memories of it.
All those old shows I grew up with, like that, Gomer Pyle, Green Acres.
Oh, we had to teach
Addams Family.
Blake who Gomer Pyle was.
Yeah, that's
love
what-
Green Acres. As I've said, I love F Troop. I don't know if
Mr.
you ever
Ed.
spent much time. Love Mr. Ed.
Mr.
Love Bewitched.
Beverly Hills.
Was it Nick at Night? Was that
I
why,
mean,
or
when I was a kid, like that was what was on, like from like 2 to 4
in the afternoon.
Like I remember.
And that was Today in History.
Before we do closing remarks real quick, you said something I wanted to follow up on. Is it a beating to have to do – I mean, I know you love this, obviously, but to have to go to radio stations in every city?
Yeah, actually, I tend to enjoy it. You know, when I was in the one in El Paso, I had a good time, but you could tell it's like dying because like the DJ I was talking to behind her was like just a wall of CDs. And you just kind of, she's talking, I was looking at all those CDs being like, why am I here?
Yeah.
But you guys would have loved it. The other host, I mean, and both of the hosts were great. And the host, I think you guys like this, the host of the radio show that we were on was the MC that weekend at the club. And he did a great, Nico, shout out Nico, he did a great job. But yeah, he's the one that runs the radio show.
Was it a morning show?
Yeah.
See, that's a beating.
Yeah.
Having to do that late night show, and then you got to get up in the morning.
And when I pulled in, and they had there was 3 names of the studios. There was ESPN, Kiss FM, and then K-Lock. I was like, which one are we doing? He's like, K-Lock. I'm like, yeah, of course we are.
The AM.
Yeah. It's but we had a good time. And then I had a lot of people come to the show that were referencing it, which I was very surprised by.
I mean, that's why you're doing. Well, basically, you're asking him, is it a beating to be here, too, Jake?
No, but I know it's not, though.
Right.
I preface with that.
He knows it's great here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love this high basement.
TKscomedy.com. TKS.
Comedy. Yeah, man, it's a great club.
It looks really cool.
They
I've
have
never
a
been there.
speakeasy that opens up after the late show. It's got a real sex dungeon vibe.
Looks like they have more than chicken fingers and bagel bites.
Dude, his wife made the menu, and the menu's phenomenal.
Are you doing shows every weekend?
I try to.
Okay.
Every once in a while, I have a weekend off, and then I go to Backdoor Comedy Club. Because, it's not riding a bike. You got to stay sharp.
And if you have no manager or agent or anything, how are you getting these gigs in El Paso? You just calling around? Or
that was a situation where, I worked the road for a long time, but that was a situation where the headliner, John Stringer, who I've known forever, he just hit me up months out, and he goes, hey, come feature for me at this club. And I was like, yeah, the money's right. So
what's feature mean?
That means you're the middle act.
Okay.
Which is honestly the sweet spot. Because it's way less work.
You don't have pressure to be the best.
You don't have any pressure to be the best. And this in the middle, you get to just kill.
In fact, you could make the headliner look bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you get off stage, and then you just sell your merch after the show, and you end up leaving with good money, and you didn't have any pressure on you.
Okay.
So in the comedy world, everybody knows everybody wants to be the headliner.
Openers just spare.
Openers taking a bullet. The crowd's still ordering drinks. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody gives a fuck. It's very hard to climb up through that MC featured headliner level. It's a real rocky path.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much? And is it a difference in amount of material you have to give?
Yeah, it's 15. It's 10 to 15, 20 to 30, and then 45 to an hour.
Okay.
Are the brackets. And the pay is once you're a headliner, the pay is the MC's making probably 150 to 200 for the whole weekend.
The MC, which would be in El Paso, it was this radio host.
Yeah.
The opener, what's he making about?
Yeah, he's the opener, and then the feature's making 5 to 8. So
for the whole weekend,
for the whole
per
weekend.
night?
So you got to sell merch.
Okay.
Sometimes you can on one show sell enough merch that matches the check you get for the weekend. And then the headliner's making between $2,000 to $5,000.
Okay.
So it's a big difference in the pay.
Do the places because I know here in Dallas, some places will have a little apartment that they
a lot of
will
clubs
put you up in out.
Yeah, they have a condo or they own a home.
So you don't have to pay for lodging. That's good. Mm-hmm. Does that happen everywhere? Did it happen in El Paso?
El Paso, they gave us a hotel room.
Oh, that's good.
Which both are cool. It's because when you show up at a condo, you just live in a house with 2 people you don't know typically for 4 days.
So that sucks.
It's just weird. Sometimes it's great, and then sometimes it's just weird.
Yeah.
Sometimes people want to hang out the whole time, and that's really terrible too.
Yeah.
Even when you like somebody, they're they just want to do shit the whole weekend. You're
Yeah.
I just want to go in my room and just not listen to you for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Headlining this weekend, though.
Headlining this weekend, TKs, come check us out, please. Or I swear to, if we don't sell out at least 2 of these shows, I'll relapse. I don't want to put that.
Stakes are very high.
I don't want to put that on y'all's audience. But if I come back in August, it's gonna be. We're gonna discuss about what you guys did to me, or what you didn't do to me.
Closing remarks, Danny Binion. Anything? I know you're just kind of like an add-on here. You were invited by Paul.
I'm just here, just hanging out, just here swapping stories about Jake and his leather jacket.
Shut the fuck up.
Paul, were you just concerned that this would be too much for you?
I was nervous, yeah.
So you had to bring a veteran in?
I had to bring Danny. He's the other DF friend of mine, and he knows Jake, so I thought it might be fun for him to tag along.
Okay.
Yeah, so thanks a bunch. Yeah, it was great.
I'm very happy with the way this went. I thought I was going to leave here in shambles of them just...
Well, we're not done with closing remarks yet.
Yeah, so fennroofing.com, Fenn roofing.com.
That's right.
What else you got?
That's it. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's really weird for me. We were really good friends in high school, and then I think, where did we see each other sometime, like maybe 10, 12 years ago?
Like 7th Street maybe or something.
You didn't go to the graduation? Or not the graduation?
The reunion?
Reunion.
Yeah, no, I skipped that. That is not my scene. I am not. I'm still friends with some people that I went to school with, but it did nothing for me to go.
Jake had to hear, like, hey, bro, I listened to you on the radio.
Yeah. He had to go.
So that's what I was going to say. What's cool about him is you lived over by, like, by that church, by New Church, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I spent time at his house. He spent time at my house. We've known each other a long time. And I knew that he listened to the Tickets, sort of, but we don't, like, keep up at all. And then he's like, here. Like, I listened to your podcast, and I got a 690.
Yeah.
So it's great to not hear from you.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm saying. Is like, it's cool that he listens.
Don't do too much.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Keep it low key.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being here and stuff.
Thanks for having me. It was awesome.
What are you doing this weekend? What do we got going? Like, you already got fireworks plans?
I'm going to go see Grady tonight in Hearst, but we are leaving there and going to a friend's house for fireworks, and then I am headed to the beach tomorrow.
What's that? Galveston?
Yes, close to Galveston, Surfside. Family.
Blake?
Try to get through the whole family.
Pre-weekend check?
I'm seeing Grady tonight as well.
Oh, you're going to Grady Spencer?
We support our friends.
However, I did not ask Grady for free parking.
That is not exactly.
Oh, okay.
It's the move to make, though.
You better not park over there now if you're going to try to embarrass me after I copied all of us on the email.
And then July 4th is actually my wife's birthday, so it's more of like her thing. So
give her a little freedom.
A little moosing.
Yeah, I'll moose her and give her a full lesson.
Well, you better cash that check.
Adios, mofo.
I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. Girl, you just don't realize what you do to me when you hold me in your arms so tight.